Make it a hat.
So anyway, there I was. Standing in the fire. I don't know.
What were you doing in the fire?
Whoa.
Oh, you know, I was standing there
Fire
and,
with flames.
yeah, with my guitar going
Little
like...
Guitar Hero action going.
Yeah.
Inspiration to Daniel for the assist.
Alley-oop. Yeah, we're live.
Kids, welcome back. As always, it is my privilege to DM you once again, and I will start rolling for recap.
Wait, there's a button for
Minus
that.
1 jabs. Ed, do you feel like you took enough notes to do a sufficient recap, or would you like to pass along to somebody else?
I can potentially try.
Okay.
I took notes as we went.
Make it happen.
All right. Let's see. Go ahead and do that. All right. All right. So log from Odasses. The party happens upon Sky Peak, which has been overrun by undead and necromantic in the necromantic sector of the city. They reach a door and a research lab that seem to have draconic and reptilian experiments. Results unclear. They recognize Shay Volstek, who was interrogating an individual named Umlau, who unfortunately I am familiar with. And this person happens to have a secret, to which it is unclear. They have been directed to an individual, a mage, it seems, by the name of Kronosh, and they seem to have some sort of common ground with a seeming conflict at the moment. That being the notice that Prince Osman is cursed with draconic blood, and the king himself is looking for dragon blood himself. But suddenly there was an explosion. Something had hit the city, and burning wings had scoured the skies. Within the building that they were meeting Kronosh in, there was something potentially divine that was barring any communications going out. The marble walls started to melt into molten rock, and they were happened upon by this half ice, half molten lava creature that had the semblance of a dragon, but perhaps was something more. Trixie, my compatriot, and her silly little husband Umlau were cuffed together, and amid a couple spat when the creature made its way into the opening of the cavern, to which a short scuffle was handled, to which the party, unfortunately, decided was a little bit bigger than themselves. They escaped through the hole in which the dragon-like creature had burrowed in, leaving the individual Kronosh to his own devices, seemingly targeted by the dragon creature. And upon reaching the surface, they were greeted by a familiar sight. The city itself was destroyed and on fire, similar to Vryland in their journeys past. They had received a magical message from Kronosh that perhaps the core may have been a target of the entity, and that it seeks magic. But from behind the dragon, and upon reaching the surface, with seemingly nowhere else to go, they were greeted by the beautiful and proud station, or the beautiful and proud elven warrior by the name of Sylvia Moonwhisper, played by myself, and were greeted to take part, or to get back onto the skyship to which they have entered, and now towards the journey to which we are about to come. And so, I believe there might be more, but my purview was a little bit limited as I was on the skyship for most of it, but
Yet
I
a
presume the
succinct,
party itself
detailed,
will do it.
a detailed, colorful, and in perspective recap. Go ahead and give yourself inspiration. That was
Sweet.
excellent. Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
Yeah, I love the Star Trek style, like exactness. It was great.
That was excellent.
Beautiful.
The only thing I want to go over a little more of was, did anybody take any notes on the, like, in detail about what the creature could do? Like,
Half of it
Yeah.
was ice,
in your
half of it was fire.
Yes.
In your ill-fated battle with it, what sort of
the-
things did you notice?
The ice side was immune to poison. Bludgeoning, I don't think worked on the fire side because it was all goopy liquid hot magma, and it, I don't know if it was a result of getting crit or if it was just a thing that happened, but it spewed magma on the floor, and there were lasers.
True. Yes, this creature did seem to possess some sort of dual nature, elemental nature, and its sides responded as such, and responded differently to different inputs. Very good. Anybody else have anything to add?
It's a big ass dragon.
It's a big fucking dragon.
Wasn't that like just its head too?
just huge motherfucker. Holy shit.
It's a huge bitch.
Yeah.
Memes. We did it. Hooray.
Cross streams. Wait, kind of.
Hey.
It's still same group of folks.
Anyway.
It's still us.
It's still us.
Strokes.
Still dumb. Still D&D. Still here. Very good. Does anybody else have any other details to add before we get going here?
Negative.
Right, because I'm receiving confirmation in the negative. What we shall do next is begin. Let me stop fiddling around with this.
Man.
James, nice of you to join us.
Huzzah.
Welcome.
We are down one Bill and one Brandon, but Brandon is going to be sort of a varying, like Umlau, gonna blow in and out with the breeze.
Or blowing.
Dust in
The emphasis on blowing.
winds.
Yeah,
All because
he's just the wind in your sails.
Anyway,
And beneath my wings.
Okay, let me drag you to here. Oh good, the handouts stay. That's excellent. Okay. So you are all find yourselves all aboard your sky ship, the Sky Dancer. You flee the city in the fading sun. Its silhouette burning and exuding lots of smoke. Bright flashes of blue, green, and purple go off amidst the clouds, illuminating small puffs as whatever defenses, magical or otherwise, the city continues to try and defend itself from whatever attack is happening here. On board, let me start removing some of these people. There's a bunch of random refugees here. Kids, get out of here. Deleted. Deleted.
that's not how you treat refugees, Matt.
Goodbye.
Nope.
They are dead.
Don't know who that guy is, but he's not a refugee.
Oh, the humanity.
Cool, gone. Actually, I'm just gonna delete. Nope.
Oh, delete it.
Oh, you zip me. Trying to use a plastic bag as a helmet. God damn it.
So good. Back then, science was real crude.
Alrighty. If you are not, you should all be on the airship right now. Let me delete this combat. Sorry, I should have done all this earlier, but I'm
See
not.
no one on the airship.
Sorry, I said that and I was like, oh, I haven't dragged you guys out yet. Here.
Oh, there's someone on the airship.
Zoop.
There's someone.
Oh,
Ow.
the board.
That word.
There's someone down there, yeah.
Ow.
Oh, hello.
There's
also,
welcome back.
It's me. Oh, there I am.
Trixie,
You can't kill
Whoa.
me.
y'all tried to leave me down there.
Who can remember this guy's name?
Blurred.
No, the other guy.
But who? Sorry.
Oh, I know his name.
Oh,
He's the potion guy, though, right?
Yeah.
His name, Ross.
Dangle Pangle.
Yeah, that's right.
Is it what? Is that really? Is that canon?
That's canon.
It is canon.
It is.
Canon.
That is locked
Never
in.
forget.
Oh God.
I thought it was canon as the 5 skins were.
yeah, you have no idea what you signed up for.
Hey, if
No,
it's
I'm pretty
anything
sure
like the
he
Fire
did.
Skins.
When we flew off of Elturel, floating above the river Styx, made with squirrel suits of 4 skins, calling ourselves the 5 skins, I think it was fine. I think he knew what he was.
Yeah,
You were getting.
yeah. Yeah.
So good.
I'm still here. So
For now.
Oh yeah.
I'm glad
Okay.
you made it.
If you don't see yourself on there, please let me know.
Let me.
There I am.
yes.
How do you do? So you all leap and climb onto the skyship in varying degrees of like panting and such as you escape. The rest of the crew, the remaining crew, is there at their posts. The captain at the helm, Foz and Zoom remain here as well. And actually, Foz is with the child as well. So you can
Which is
go.
rather
Mandalorian.
ironic now that both of the parents are back.
Yet.
Think I would get some peace and quiet, but no. It must run in the family.
Blurg is the first
Sorry,
one to meet you.
Trixie. I
Oh,
didn't.
hey,
Yes.
looks like y'all made it. It's looking a
Fucking
little
love
worse
Blurg.
for wear. He's like, come here and let me put my hands on you and I'll give you some healing.
Who is this magnificent creature?
Oh, I like you.
I like you as well.
Sure, let me get my holy goblin fingers all through that hair.
Oh, I'll
Turning a
even...
little into a southern gentleman as he goes. That's canon too. When he gets excited, the draw comes out.
It's supposed to be tree trunks, right?
yeah, tree
Yeah.
trunks.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. What?
What?
You ever-
Adventure Time.
Adventure
Wait, is
Time. Tree
Oh.
trunks.
Oh, I was thinking something else.
Yeah, so I was like, his fingers,
He's a tree trunk.
like Salad Finger's older brother. Tree trunk toes.
I'm the sexiest adventure in the world.
Just like that.
Mhm.
But he starts running his tiny goblin hands like over your broad shoulders. And like, ooh, ah, and just like static electricity, like divine magic is like rippling through your hair. Very good. So the Sky Dancer takes off. Several things happen as you guys are departing the city. Foz, actually, I'd like to speak with you. The Flumph AI that is in piloting in the core of this ship, rather, speaks up to you and says, "Father, there appears to be some sort of transmission coming from Skypeak."
Well,
You would know that he is taken to calling you father as of late, since you were the one who corresponded with him first telepathically and has since his inception.
what are they saying?
It seems like it's general chatter from the war effort. Shall I dictate?
Summarize the important bits.
Well, let's see. There's a lot of screaming. Let me summarize with, and you can just like get recorded, garbled like recordings of like people screaming in their death
Anything
throes, being
that's-
burned alive.
Involves mentions of specific monsters and not just individuals in pain.
It seems like I don't know who this guy's turning into. He's turning a little into Lulu. It's just, it seems like they're discussing these flying creatures. Something that, wait, hang on. I'm getting something in about mephits. Large mephits.
Describe them.
Certainly, Father. Mephits are elemental creatures, usually created from things like fire, ice, acid, mud, metal.
Describe
grease.
these specific ones that are mentioned.
Sure thing. These ones seem to be made mostly of fire and ice. The rest of you, for those of you who have been on this ship, this isn't an odd occurrence. For those who are a little newer to this occurrence, hearing a flump speak in excited tones is a little odd. It's also gained the ability to kind of speak outwardly as well. So all of you are hearing this. Oh, so feel free to position yourselves around. At this point, I would say you guys are out of combat. You guys are out of any sort of danger. Occasionally, you see a flying creature pass you, and heading in toward the city, but like it's harrying. Like they seem to be harrying other ships, but mostly they're intent on getting to the city. You guys spot other sky ships attempting to flee, and some of them they tend to be larger and slower than your ship. Yours being like a message vessel or like a messenger vessel. These being like larger transports that are much slower, but seem to be struggling under the onslaught of the elements surrounding the city. Elementals surrounding the city.
We don't see any hostile ships though, right?
Roll a
Like
perception.
nobody's like, oh, then
Yeah, as far as you like, the wind direction and the smoke spewing from the city makes it visibility a little difficult to see. No ships that you have seen so far seem to be bearing down on you in any sort of like hostile maneuver. Fosradine, you are in the middle of a tree toss about mephits and their history when the flump suddenly stops. Incoming message from Kronash. And you actually hear first Kronash trying to message Scud, actually. Scud, you hear it first. You hear Kronash to Scud. Kronash to Skudsky.
How are you speaking to me? I hear you.
You hear it telepathically, and then you see a brief flash, as though that you can feel the magic kind of like pinpointing on you. And before you, like an image flickers, and you see Kronash standing there in his battle regalia, hands behind his back, in an astral projection.
Oh.
You all see this. Sky Peak has fallen. We hold ourselves up within the core, but I fear that we may not have much time.
Are you able to escape?
Negative. Escape seems unlikely. We shall hold out as long as we can, but we need assistance. The core cannot fall to the creature above. I am sworn to secrecy in this matter on who this creature is, but... And he hands, like, the astral protection reaches into his pocket and pulls out a crest. A circular dragon head with two wings on either side. This is the symbol of Prince Oswin and the Dragon Knights. And despite the fact that this being is of a incorporeal magic nature, the sigil he holds out to you is very solid, and he beckons for you to take it.
I take the sigil?
He says, "You must call the prince back. You must recall his forces."
We will do as you ask.
Do not come for us. Should we need to, we will destroy the core and collapse the city.
We do not intend to come back, but if the prince can help, I will call for him.
He gives you a solemn nod. This will
Good luck.
likely be my last message. Good luck.
As to you,
There's
sir.
a faint stretching, like in 3 different places. Like top goes to the right, left, middle goes to the left, and bottom goes to the right. Like the magic is being stretched and then blinks out of existence.
Whoa.
Add 1 Dragon Knight crest to your inventory, please.
Oh,
And who was this guy's name again? So I missed that part.
That was Kronash.
Kronash, got it.
What was the prince's name?
Good Prince
Oswin.
Oswin,
Oswin.
the Dragon
Okay.
Heart.
Right. Oswin. Okay. Yeah, I'll relay that to the team.
Everyone saw it.
Oh,
Everyone
you
was there to
just-
see
you
that
just
one.
That
fucking
was
see that
unusual.
shit.
Hard to miss.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there anybody that wants to do anything right this second? Anybody have anything pressing they want to do?
The ship's moving, right? Like we're moving.
Ship is taking a direct
Okay.
course outward. The captain asks, "What heading?" Orders?
Hmm.
Oh, fallen! We need to return these people. Right, we have someone? Yeah.
Yeah.
Umlau.
Yeah, you are still flying with Umlau, Cloud, Umlau and Trixie's daughter. Daughter, right? Daughter, not son.
Child.
Child. Good one.
Baby.
Spawn.
uh, let's see. Yeah, I'll step up in front of Trixie and kind of looking at Umlau and the child. I kind of looked at the party, stating, River and some of your compatriots are mentioning Dun Hollow. Is this your next target?
I don't know so much about Target, but that's where we were stationed before.
Hmm.
It offers protection.
We'll at least find allies there.
And I play at a perhaps a safe place for this one, and I'll kind of put my point my head towards Umlau and kind of look him up, kind of disgustedly.
Or hang on, I'm doing background stuff. Umlau is standing next to Wolf, and Umlau leans in. It's like, mate, I don't think this drow lady likes me very much. In a very loud stage whisper.
Yeah, I give him a big scowl.
You keep making that face, it's gonna stay that way.
To the was that the tree stump?
What's that?
Was
No,
that the tree stump?
That was Umlau.
Oh, that was Umlau.
That was Umlau, yeah.
I make it harder.
It's like, gives me the heebie-jeebies. Anyway, Trixie says, well, I'm hoping that they'll be safe for now. Nowhere seems safe these days.
Agreed.
People begin dispersing. River seeks out his brother and heads below decks. What are the rest of you doing? Zoom is like, well, I should probably cook everyone a good meal. That seemed pretty scary. So he heads down as well into the galley. What would the rest of you like to do? Other people of note still on the ship are the potion maker, whose name I forget. What was his name again? It was
Dangle? Pangle.
Dangle Pangle. That's right. I'll definitely remember that.
I mean, he'll give everyone a potion on every quest.
Oh, he's actually on his character sheet. There we go.
Hmm.
Let me Sheet? This sheet? No.
Blood, I think we could use some healing.
He's
Yes.
still rubbing Bud. He's like, I'm working on
1 minute.
it.
It's finally getting to my undercoat. Goblin nails are so long.
Oh, I'll get to your undercoat.
Oh, right there. Oh, right there. Right there. Yeah, that's like that.
Who's a good kitty?
I'm the
He's
good
really
kitty.
focused. But yeah, he can cast a mass healing word on you guys.
Mass
Nice.
scratching.
Nice.
Biscuit
let's
time.
see.
Give me them biscuits.
He will cast it at a 5th level. Sure, why not?
Nice.
Everybody. Gee, well, didn't mean to roll his dangle pangle, but it doesn't really matter.
Nice. That works.
If there was any mystery to who he was, you all regain 10 HP.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Oh, excellent.
Thank God.
Ugh.
Well, better than nothing.
You'll take what I give you.
That I will. Oh.
Kind of looking over at the kind of light healing. I'll kind of look about and look towards Trixie specifically and say that, hey, Nibbles had missed you, and with a light whistle, a slight bit of arcane energy will spout from the sound of my mouth and start to skitter about the deck, creating what looks to be like a purplish mouse of that's built of Fey energy, and it's gonna fill the space of about 5 by 5. And exist for about a minute. I'll be casting Healing Spirit to add some additional healing to the area.
All right.
Cool.
Conga line.
So
Is this mouse really a 5 by 5? Like,
Huge.
it's gonna skitter about in a 5 by 5 square.
oh
But
my god.
but I'll motion everybody in, like, gather around. Nibbles will give you a little bit of a little kiss. And yeah, I will be casting Healing Spirit.
I
So-
love kisses.
give me the kiss.
The ROUSs? Those don't like
I'm gonna cast something as well if this doesn't top us off. I don't think that will.
It'll be a D6 every round.
Oh, it's one of these. Oh yeah,
It's one of those. So
So roll me 10d6. Right? It's 1 minute. 10d6. Roll 10d6 for me.
okay. So one of them is 1. So
Oh, 9 more then.
96.
I'll do 9 more.
And I will say the treat, like, rather than as a sum, treat each individual die and like distribute them how you will.
Oh, how am I gonna do that? Okay. Well.
Oh yeah, if you click on the 96 portion in the chat, it should have like the individual spread for you.
Okay. So-
because Dai will step away and he'll be like just waving a hand over himself with a flash of dark energy. He can just heal himself, but
Okay.
kind of step away from the healing so that other people can take it.
Okay. So whoever needs it the most, there's 2 6s that popped up. So
Well, it looks like Trixie needs it the most.
yeah, Nibbles will give Trixie the biggest kisses.
And
Nuzzles right into the
I-
snout.
Scud
Can I
backs away too.
request- Can I request someone to pilot Trixie and River for the evening?
James will do it.
James will do it. Awesome, thank you.
So what the-
Even nose ghost.
Nose goes unless
I'm making
Tyler,
them jump off the
Tyler
ship.
volunteers. Yeah.
Can't see jack shit.
How about that? Oh god, is there a way to type this in? And why do I have to like deplete my lay on hands 1 hit point at a time? Jesus. Okay. So as healing goes around, distribute as you will. Does anybody else want to do anything?
So Trixie will get 12.
Okay. Whoever's piloting Trixie,
Yeah, whoever
please
gets- yeah.
heal her 12.
Yeah.
Faz, Umlau moves over to you to have a hushed conversation and rejoin their child. I will not be DM or role playing that conversation, given Brandon's it's Brandon's character, and he's not dead. So,
do we need more healing to top us off? Because I've got a prayer healing on deck. If we do,
I'm at 89 out of 121, so I'm okay.
I'm missing 25 HP, but I have a lot to begin with.
I'm missing 7, so I'm good.
yeah,
Okay.
also-
I'll send so 12 went to Trixie. I'll send 10 to still don't have all of your names.
You can use
if you
have
hover
a
over
your
your
names if
token,
it helps.
Oh. Yes.
This guy doesn't have a hover. Weird.
Really?
Same.
On the player
it
list on the
type
bottom
you
left
too?
too, it shows their names.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Vulcan, if
see.
I hover over you, your name shows up.
I don't know
Cool.
why mine won't. Wait, does it work now?
Oh, that's working now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Cool. So yeah, I'll send 10 over to Sam. Samoville.
Don't you know you're Sam?
That's
dear
10. And I'll send 10 more over to Bud.
oh,
Give yourself inspiration. I love the way you slipped that in there and said nothing about it. That was awesome. I love that.
What's that?
For you, Daniel.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
For who?
Well, I
Yeah,
wasn't
right,
sure
right.
if you were referring to me or not, so that's
I
why
was
responded.
indeed. I was indeed.
And then there's 3 more that I'll just give to let's see. To Vulcan. That's all I have left.
All right.
3 more. Sorry.
We
But
I'm gonna go ahead and use.
on the meditate.
I'm gonna go ahead and use a 3rd level prayer of healing.
Alright.
So everybody within 30 feet of me is gonna get 20 healing,
Wolf.
what?
Oh,
Well, don't I feel like
Damn.
a fool for using my healing?
except for
I know.
James because I can't heal constructs.
Oh,
okay. Well,
Let me.
well, actually, and Wolf.
Aw.
Oh, that's right.
And in a surprise move, and Kazdaye.
You found out the real you.
But for completely
Jesus.
different reasons.
Freaking Cylon.
A healer that can't heal 2 members of his party.
Who am I?
I just need to keep on deck some oil.
And wood.
Plenty of that.
dangle pangle.
All right, very good.
Tangle
Passing around healing, you begin your swifter ship begins leaving Skypeak behind. As you do so, you pass a skyship that is like going down, like completely on fire, just crashing into the sea, or into the like headed for the sea below. Well beyond saving. There's no even point. It's just a burnt out wreck at this point as it descends. But a great tragedy seems to have struck here at Sky Peak. So you make your way back toward Dun Hollow. Now is the time I would say we are in a short rest and camping scenario. So if there's anything anybody would like to do, or if there's anybody that would like to talk to anybody, now's the time. For you, Ed, because I don't think I've ever had to DM for you before. I tend to do these pretty freeform. RP is pretty player driven, so if you guys want to have your conversations, now's a great time to do it. If you have any questions about who's on the ship, what's on the ship, let me know, and we'll get this rolling.
Got you. Okay.
I guess
So-
the best comparison I can make. This is your camp scene of Baldur's Gate.
Okay.
Where, everyone's taking a quiet moment. We're in our short rest, and whatever sort of things you had to do, now's a good time to do it. So.
All right. I guess how long, I guess time-wise, that is happening between now and I kind of didn't how, like what are we looking at as far as timeline?
Great question. So you're able to, at the top, navigate to the world map. Actually, let me just drag everybody there for narrative's sake.
Okay.
So for the moment, obviously this ruler is not to scale, but oh, why is the skyship on Dunhollow?
Oh, that's a skyship. Okay, I
That is the
didn't know what
skyship.
that
You got
was.
a little
A little bitty one in there. Okay.
skyship there. So yeah, it's not far from here. So
15 feet.
it's 15 feet away. You're there already. The hop, skip, and
Damn.
jump is amazing that it didn't
Wow.
get caught up in the fire.
Flight's
but
So
amazing.
close.
The flight's incredible. Technology.
I think the way we did it
Technology.
before was like each square is a day's worth of travel on foot.
That's right.
That,
So,
nice.
you'd get there in about a day and a half or so. Like, what would normally be like a 3-4 day walk, depending on terrain and like visibility and etc. Like, you'll get there in about a day, give or take. So,
Okay.
you
Cool.
have some time, but
Okay. So then, given that, since given I am the new lady on campus, I will be I'll use a lot of the time to kind of observe many of the many Trixie's compatriots, very like I guess at a surface level, almost like scanning them,
yeah.
like for their strengths, potentially their weaknesses if they have a limp, if they have some sort of sicknesses, just kind of every little nick and cranny of what I can deem just from a visual perspective.
Sure.
But the first person I will actually approach in this kind of exploration outside of Trixie, of course, to which before I go into this scan, I will teach her child how to play with knives and how to toss them.
Naturally.
Good.
Yeah,
Good.
yeah. So just behind her back as much as I possibly can, because I want that to come back and
Because that's what aunties do. Yep.
yeah, because that's what I do.
Famously,
But
my auntie taught me how to play this. That's
yeah, definitely a butterfly flop here or like switchblades. But amongst all that, upon getting onto the deck, I will approach the ranger of the party, Wolf, wherever you might be. So where are you on the deck?
He's just kind of staring at the wreckage of Sky Peak. Just kind of.
Go ahead and place yourselves amongst the ship here. The middle the middle deck is obviously what you see. The bottommost on this map is the below deck. The upper one just shows the main mast as well as like the crow's nest, but lightly used, if at all.
Okay.
So
so
yeah,
Wolf,
go ahead and spread yourselves out wherever you want to be. Wolf, now's a good opportunity, especially since Ed is new to this party. Go ahead and describe yourself a little bit. Good refresher for everyone.
So, I mean, if you zoom in on the token, it's kind of what you see. You see he's a Warforged. He's got kind of like a sort of integrated like helmet thing where he has like a visor he can pull down. That's kind of like his battle mode. So usually it's like up. And then he's got like integrated armor as well. So he's got kind of like sort of like light sort of scale or plates I should say, sort of built into where it's not like super like heavy armor where it's like mobile, but it's like built into his body, and got kind of like straps and like pouches and stuff like to hold gear, but other than that doesn't have too much like in the way of clothing per se. And then you also notice that there are like kind of some panels and you'll see like bees and there's kind of like a consistent buzzing around him, and like he's got kind of like bees crawling over him. Then he has a crossbow sort of slung on his back.
Okay.
He's
Cool.
just kind of like,
I'm sorry, not Trixie. Sylvia, what is your passive perception? Out of curiosity.
22.
20. Jesus Christ.
watch out, bud.
So when you guys are describing your characters for Sylvia, any other little quirks or details that you think is justifiable for a 22 perception? Feel free to add it a little more detail if you feel necessary. Otherwise, we can move along.
He looks like he's just kind of sort of lost in thought at the moment. Maybe kind of what's the word? Fidgety a bit. You get the feeling that he kind of might be inexperienced and still processing stuff.
Hmm.
I mean,
Okay.
as far as you can like judge age-wise, he, at least from what you've interacted with him, seems kind of on the younger side, at least sort of personality-wise.
Okay. Cool. I'll approach you, not necessarily stealthily, but not in a way to where I'm trying to like frighten you, but making my presence known. I will approach you. You'll hear like the little tip taps of the heels coming down, and I'll look in your direction, kind of wherever you're looking, and specifically eye towards your crossbow, and then back at you, and say just right off the bat, "You any good with that?"
Yeah, I mean, I'm decent at least.
Did you make it yourself?
Not quite. That's kind of more my forge. I mean, our companion, Vulcan, his domain.
Oh,
Well, one of these days I want to get something made by him, but this is just something I kind of picked up along the way.
Hmm.
You like it?
I like the make. I like a good tool for
Oh yeah, well check
bits of
this out. And then he
ranged
kind of like
combat.
just kind of starts going off and like being like this. Oh, and look at like the pull
Oh.
mechanism here, and just kind of starts nerding out
Yeah, I'll
on it. And
yeah, and I will just nod along with the enthusiasm that I was not expecting from this Warforged individual who
and about
I don't have a whole
halfway
lot of experience with, but
about
but
halfway
yeah,
through, he'll kind of notice and be like, "Oh, I'm rambling again, aren't I? Sorry."
it's all right. I appreciate a little passion and in the people that I interact with. Sylvia, by the way.
Wolf. Nice to meet you. Thanks for the assist.
My pleasure. Happy to help a fellow compatriot and their friends. And looking towards you, I'll look you up unknown to say it's nice to see a fellow practitioner of Ranger's art.
Oh,
And I'll like point towards my bow. Made it
nice.
myself. I hope to potentially assist you on the back lines if our current partnership is to be one that is fruitful.
Of course. Yeah,
Uh,
we'll have
but-
to like practice shooting sometime or something.
Yes, shooting.
Yes, the shooting.
Shoot.
Pleasure. But it's a pleasure to meet you.
Yep.
And as I'm walking away, I'll continue keeping my eye on the bow and or on your crossbow, and just kind of make a mental note of just the pristine nature of its make and build, and walk away to the next person. If you're still there, Bud.
Oh, I'm here.
And I'll just stop in my tracks.
Rub down. Just
Did you say your passive perception was 22?
Yes.
You're the only
Wow.
one higher than me. I'm a 21.
Oh.
You outnoticed me.
Oh,
He saw me first.
Someone noticed you, senpai.
But as you're being rubbed down, are you?
Hard.
I
Are you-
still got him digging in my back. Oh,
Yeah.
oh.
Are you
Oh my god.
topless? Are you?
Has he pulled out the massage table?
You know,
what is the situation
that'd
with
be
this
impressive
rub down
if
that
he-
you're getting?
Kind of
oh, I'm
establishment
getting
is
healed
this?
through the goblin hands.
Oh, but
Oh.
you've been at full health a long time ago.
I have. You know what? I'm doing this for me.
It's called
Why
self-care,
do you do
Matt.
this?
Get with
That's
it.
right. He's exfoliating
I'm
my
not
deep
judging. I'm
tissue.
giving this gift to him.
Okay. Well,
Just put a gift.
uh,
You know what? Josh, I'm gonna
Yes.
Oh.
Lost you.
Let's learn.
Lost
from
you,
it.
lost you.
Sorry, start over.
Sorry. Yeah, start over. Yeah,
Repeat.
we lost you at Josh.
Oh. Sorry, I'm giving him my Lord of the Rings inspiration,
Oh.
Okay, there you go.
and he's got to give it to the next person who quotes it.
That's right.
Oh.
All right. Well,
We're starting
It's
to
gonna be a
change.
new homebrew thing.
double it and give it to the next guy.
The Lord of the
The Lord of the Rings inspiration. Got it.
I'm actually
Nice.
gonna do that. Yeah, sure.
Wow.
For any Lord of the
it.
Rings inspired thing.
Share the load.
Yep,
Well,
those
it's gotta
are-
be relevant. It's gotta be relevant.
Did you like
You're
having
sharing
it
the
for
load.
5 seconds?
Well,
Standing here, I see only a second after Sylvia sees me. All right, Blurred, give some good scratches to maybe Samoville. His shirt's off. He looks like he's good for a scratching.
Well, probably not as. It took me a second to realize you were talking to me.
Yeah.
I was like, oh wait, I have to respond to him. He looks. He's like a little despondently. He's like, I think he's got enough healing though. Don't you mind if I just stuck around?
Well, by all means.
Well,
Just don't take it personally when I speak to this new friend.
believe me, I don't need anything else.
All right,
He
climb
just
on my
goes back
back.
to.
Oh,
I
okay.
prefer to keep my feet on the ground if it's all the same to you.
Fair
so,
enough.
So with
I don't know what
Ma-
I'm doing or why this guy is like
Oh.
this.
Hey, you're rolling with it.
Just yes, and
Yep, yes, and
There it is.
so with mouth agape, given that interaction, kind of discovering the what's his name, Dangle Pangle's potential interest where they might
this is
lie.
Blurg.
Oh, this is Blurg. Oh, this
Yeah,
is
this
Blurg.
is-
Blurg.
Do you have the pop
Sorry, my
out
bad.
for him?
Is it blurred or blurred?
I think it's blurred.
Blurred.
Blurg.
Okay,
Blurg.
sorry. Blurred.
No, I'm sorry. I misled you.
Okay.
Let me.
Um,
find
He's
him.
under Odasses and under Denizens and in miscellaneous blurred gluz.
Blurg.
Gotcha.
He's in the journal.
Ah.
Got it.
Yeah.
I
Okay,
was looking
yeah.
for an
He
extra-
wasn't labeled, so that's how I was
Yeah,
like, oh,
share him
shit.
with the boys.
Thank you.
I can fix his labels. So you can see
Blurred.
them.
Blurred.
Anyway, I'm sorry.
Anyway.
Continue.
Yeah, it was much okay. But yeah, given that interaction with the blurred, kind of with mouth agape, I'll kind of look Bud up and down. And before introducing myself, I'll just say, I'm quite a fan of a little pussycats in my particular line of interests. I'm hoping this doesn't awaken anything in me.
Oh, ha. You see, typically I'm mostly a pussycat kind of guy myself, but who am I kidding? I am a man of the cloth. Well, actually, I suppose I'm more than just a cleric. I have been anointed to a higher calling.
And to what calling is that?
Fucking healing, and just have you played Magic the Gathering?
Yes.
Obviously,
Yes.
if you can imagine what a Johnny looks like, that is what Bud looks like, but with a little bit more armor and a
Okay.
warhammer, like a very powerful magical warhammer at his side, in a shield.
Mhm.
Um,
I don't understand
And-
this reference. What is a Johnny?
He's one of the
Planeswalker?
planeswalkers.
Yeah.
The white
Oh,
lion.
a Johnny. Got
A
it.
Johnny,
okay.
yeah.
I was like, a
Old
Johnny. I was like, what?
Yeah, sorry.
A Johnny Sins.
Yeah.
Anyway,
not,
Damn it,
sorry.
Jesus.
not Johnny Sins. Okay, yeah, different.
Johnny Sins. Holy shit.
Oh no.
Johnny Sins.
God.
He's now a white red planeswalker.
Can you
He's
do
a doctor.
picture of him to put up, Matt?
Oh, sure. Also, Bud, describe yourself a little bit.
Oh yeah, I was waiting
the rest
to
of us.
get through pleasantries.
Oh, they happen.
So let me go actually and
Oh, there
give you the full.
Well, there we go.
Fucking awful heroic.
Looking awful
Yeah.
dark
Just
compared to
awful.
early Bud.
Yeah,
So much healing.
Definitely, yeah, definitely a little bit more dark. Bud has now player knowledge has come back from the afterlife.
At the turn of the
with-
tides.
Of the tides have
Oh,
turned.
shit.
Matt gets
Hell spit me out. Matt,
Oh my.
Matt, give it to Blurred.
Nope. That's
Gossip
to be
Girl.
used at my discretion.
Take away the axe, give him a warhammer. That's what he looks like now. He used to be a little bit more like blonde, like a typical lion. But with his time in the afterlife, he's used to be a lot more almost like a coward, not cowardly lion, but a lot more sappy and lovey. But now since things have been hardened, he's a little bit more focused on always been on protection. I'm a protection cleric, so my whole thing is jumping into the fray. I will sacrifice my own health to heal you. He still has that about him, but now that he's lost everything, but now come back, he knows it's not the end of the world. Do your best, kind of thing. He is clad in wonderful armor like that. He instead of those, I'll just say on his chest there'd be a symbol of Helm. He is a cleric of him. Bud is now falls under the alignment of chaotic good. He is 6'9".
Big boy.
He's a big boy. And that's kind of about it. He's got some scars where there's lacking patches of fur where he would have been chewed up and spit out by the devil dogs in a previous sessions. But aside from that, he is a hulking giant of kindness. There's definitely a look on his face of he's been through some shit, but the kindness all the same.
Gotcha. And just for a point of reference, you're 6'9".
Mhm.
Sylvia's about 5'4", so definitely dwarfed.
Sort of tight.
In comparison to you, and I don't know if you're like sitting or standing or what.
Oh, I'm standing. Yeah.
Yeah,
Blurred's like at this point just kind of probably could reach my ass maybe if he's fully stretched.
I just assumed you were like doing like kitty stretches.
Oh yeah, constantly. Very limber.
He's
but-
just making biscuits.
Yeah,
whole
exactly
time?
right.
But I got an
There.
8 in dexterity, so I'm like the least dexterous cat you've ever seen in your life. So
You ever seen kneading dough? That's not dexterity, that's strength.
it is. So yeah, that's I am a humble Leonin from our capital city of Wiltier.
I see. So given that description and your, I guess I would notice the kind of the different textures of your hair. Sylvia will actually reach out to kind of the lower part of your mane, and ask before, may I? And just like kind of motion to kind of touch it a little bit.
Bud'll do you one better. He goes down to one knee and he says, "By all means."
And just what I'm gonna try to like gather is, well, not that I assume like player knowledge I would know all of that, but I want to gather like what's different, like see if Sylvia can gather like that this person has like seen death before, like from like the hair that he has, because he seems to be yeah.
Roll an investigation or a survival check.
I will do survival.
Go for it.
It'll be 16.
Other than so there isn't anything that like would indicate to you anything other than he's just got a pale complexion, we'll say, for Leonin. Albino Leonin aren't exactly unheard of, but quite rare.
Yeah.
He does have kind of like this not a pale complexion to him, but he does have this sort of like ethereal edge that you can't quite pin down. It's just more of a gut feeling than anything else. The one thing I will say with that survival check, though, is he smells of... Tyler, what would you say the Sinborn realm smells the most of? Not sulfur. Like, what would its corruption smell like?
Peas.
That's a weird question. I never thought I would be asked.
Infection.
Yeah, not
Off the cuff, first
sulfur.
impressions. Let me just think. Like, I'm trying to think, because like there was a lot of like, there was fire.
It's a
and there was,
festering smell, I would say. Like
It's almost so like decay. Rot?
yeah,
Okay.
like dead animals and
So there's a bit of
Yeah.
like the
raw
sweet,
meat, I suppose.
sweet smell of like decay around him, or like a little bit of like tinged meat gone wrong. Despite his profession of being like a holy man, he's got this like smell of paint around him.
Yeah, and given that, I'll notably, I won't try to hide it, like kind of show that kind of like a scrunch of a nose, and just express to Bud, you're not like many other holy men I've met. You're tinged with this decay. Are you with us? And by that I mean, like, are you alive?
Physically, yes, I am. However, a piece of me was left when I passed. Now all I can do is try and fight to stay here on this plane. Never again do I want to enter the realm of sin again. But I'll do my damnedest to do so. As a bishop of Helm myself, I have the abilities to do everything I can to keep you and others alive. Never will again will I fail.
You know, Bill knows.
But you have failed.
Sorry, guys.
I failed once. Well, no. I failed twice now, I suppose. Maybe we go for the turkey and see what happens. But I failed my family. My birth family. I failed my friends. And hopefully not to fail them again. Though, hopefully if you ask them, they wouldn't say it's my fault. We kind of were surrounded.
There's much to learn about your friends, but to see that they still keep you in their company says a lot about, I feel like, your character.
Let me tell you this much. If it gets between saving myself and saving yours, I can promise you I will put your life before mine, even if that means my death. I've been bound by an oath to heal those who need it the most. I will fight till my last breath to do so.
Noble of you.
And he just kind of tips his head at you and stands back up. And what is it you do? I mean, you are one of the most interesting looking individuals I've ever seen.
I do what needs to be done. Quickly.
We've got
quietly.
a lot of those here.
Quickly, quietly, and if everything goes right without anybody else noticing.
I see. Well, you'd think for a feline such as myself that I'd be a lot quieter, but I guarantee you'll hear me from a mile away. I'm glad to have one as you in our party.
Point of
I-
order. You recognize that Sylvia is of the Drow persuasion. The only other Drow that you have any sort of experience with is Acasio, and he was very obviously changed by his experience after the awakening in the Underdark.
Yeah.
She exhibits none of that sort of change.
Interesting. And what sort of weapons do you carry about yourself, or do you even show that you're carrying any?
Yeah, I do. As was described before, but what you'll see just right in front of you is a longbow that she has strapped upon her back, and no other, at least like holstered, like weapons upon her hands, but upon her boots, you'll see kind of where the heels hit the ground. There are short swords that she keeps at the very tippy end, and they're currently retracted. But she seems to hold short swords in her legs and a longbow for that she keeps around her chest and back.
What sort of armor do you currently wear?
Light armor
You're wearing light armor. Okay. Never
or
mind.
leather, I guess.
Which is light armor.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still accurate.
Yes.
I'll do this. I reach into my pack and pull out a potion.
Mhm.
was
And I
hoping
hand
to
it to you.
3 hairs from your silver head.
You're fishing now. Take your.
Hey, that's pretty damn good.
I've been
That's pretty
holding
damn
on to that for like 5 or 10 minutes. I'm
That's
sorry.
accurate.
Ready to. It's like
That's
I'm
funny.
about to bust.
I'm sorry. Anyway, you take out a potion. Sorry. I couldn't help it. Ugh.
Yeah, so you give me a potion. What is so
I give
I'll
you-
take it upon man.
The light of Erendil, our most beloved star.
Take your inspiration, Josh.
I like that I don't have to enforce this rule. You guys just know.
What is this and why is it so bright?
And why will it only shine in a dark place?
I love it.
It is a gift.
Anyway, the
I,
potion.
I hand you a greater healing potion, which I now have 1 left. So I'm gonna go and delete this from my inventory. Actually, I have 2 left.
I have none left. Nope, I have 2 left.
I have 2 left.
I sleep. No.
I hand you one. So you can add a potion of healing greater. Will be in the inventory. It's 4d4 plus
you.
4.
Will do.
When I say, either if I cannot make it to you, or I'm incapable of healing, it is best that you keep one of these. It should be strong enough for one such as yourself. And now, while it may not bring you back to your current state, it is the best that I have that is of worldly make, not from our Holy Father.
The supply will be useful. Thank you.
I just nod, and now, Blurred, shall we take up the bow? Let's go, I can hold you up, and maybe you could feel some of the wind on your strands of hair.
Well, I do like the wind blowing through the strands of my
That's
3
what I
hairs.
thought. And I pick him up and put him on my shoulders like a child and walk him to the
I'm
front
flying,
of the
Mm-hmm.
ship. Teach me to fly, Jake.
All right. So as they depart, I'll keep to the sides of the boat and walk up to the deck, and following that, I will happen upon Scud.
Dude.
Scood. Is it Scood? Is it, or is it Scud?
It's Scud.
Is that how the French pronounce it? Scoot?
Scood.
Good.
It's good, yeah.
Scoot. Scoot. Scoot.
In some regions, they call me Scood. But it is Scud.
Oh, did you just say that to me as I approach you?
I mean, if you said the Scood thing, I'm like,
Oh.
you can call me
yeah,
on
that was
some
mad.
regions. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, if you do, if you say that,
Just mad B-roll.
I'll yes and it.
Alright.
Yeah. And just say, pleasure to meet you, Sylvia.
Nice to meet you,
You,
Sylvia.
You seem to be of a holy variety similar to Bud over there. Do you have a lot of healing, as he says?
Well, he is
And
a
I'll like flex or try to flex, but like you'll see, like it's mostly like lean muscle. Like she's not very big at all.
well, if you seem to demonstrate power. You are small, but I can tell you are powerful. But
Mm.
I do possess some healing. I'm not of the cleric variety of that kitty man, but I am a paladin, so I like to protect. So just know you're in good hands.
It's very good. I could use as much protection as I possibly can, though. As big and protective and burly as the two of you at least seem to be, I would hope I do not trouble you from the shadows to which I hope to reside most of the time. But it is good to know that my back will be covered, and as will my front, it seems.
Yes, well, if you hide in the shadows and get the job done, that is fine by me. As long as you possess abilities that will assist us, we will help you.
And are you?
Much obliged.
Kind of looking you over. Like what do you wield? From the image, it looked like you have a sword, but I'm not exactly sure.
I have a sword of smiting. It is a long sword, and I have a shield, an arrow catching shield, and I mean there's lore with Kaz. Kaz gave me the shield, and so I'm like, well, I guess I could just. Oh yes, this shield, Master Kaz over there. He gifted me this shield when we crossed paths back when I met this group. He's a good man.
Are you indebted to him in any way?
Only in that he was kind, and so far we have fought many battles, and I stand by his side no matter what.
So the loyal sort. Lovely. Kind of looking at. I'm not sure how accurate the art is, but I noticed the veins, I guess, that are coming up. Is that lore accurate as well?
I mean, not really. This I think I just like kind of found this picture, but
okay.
the rest is pretty like the golden horns and stuff, golden face. Okay. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, just making sure.
Yeah. Plate mail.
Gotcha. All right. Cool. Yeah. So kind of looking at that, I'll kind of give you an acknowledging nod, and be about my way. But yes, I thank you.
I'll just say thank you for providing the ship and saving us from fire and death.
Anything for a friend. And you are, at the very least, a friend of a friend. And I hope potentially we could be more. Platonically, of course.
And you're just
But
slut
of
talking
course.
everybody.
What's your charisma?
Low. it's 9.
Inside check.
Oh no.
I'm not lying. It's 9. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Oh, and Bud, you're right there. As I'm passing by, Bud, I will stare at your ass.
Oh no!
Oh yes.
just plainly, and move forward, kind of contemplating my thoughts, up to Samoville.
Real quick, Tyler, do you remember what the Dangle Pangle's voice was?
I knew you were gonna ask me that, and I don't. I think I
Oh, we
was
gotta go
trying to do
back.
something like wild, crazy voice, like squeaky voice. But me to
Wait.
do whatever you want doesn't really matter.
Whatever Dangle Pangle sounds like to you, Matt.
All right, you
Like an
can
eccentric,
voice.
squeaky, like magic man, you know.
Why? Josh, help me out
Yes.
here. Why is Dangle in my head? Who do we know that's named Dangle?
There is Lieutenant Dangle from Reno
He
911.
means Daigle.
Or you
I'm
mean
thinking
Dangle? Dangle.
Nine
Oh,
one-
episode
Buddy from
54.
Colorado.
Episode 54. Hold on, I got this.
Okay, let me think of an eccentric magical.
You're thinking you're Ringahan right now.
About to say.
All paths lead to Rangahan.
Different kind of eccentric, although your statement is still true.
This guy.
Um,
So I get to look at it.
always thinking about him. Every time Josh hands me a character, it's either blurred, or Rangahan. It's always like, ooh, they're very handsy. So as far as Dangle goes, when you approach Sylvia, Dangle's like, no, I assure you, I have an oil that makes you as slick as ever. Your muscles will just wobble with the f- of it. I swear.
That's not what I'm looking
He
for.
makes
No,
the
he-
crack, dude.
he
He
makes
cooks.
the
You should have led off with that. What are you looking for?
Something that restores my
Mustache. Good lord, you need noble stock from the underdog. I don't have that.
Damn.
without parents.
It's fine.
I look defeated.
At the mention of noble stock, I'll kind of perk my elven ear
Do a
over
nature
in the
check
direction
with advantage to see what you can
Nature
recollect about
check.
noble stock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Roll. Oh damn it! It rolled only in D&D Beyond.
What was it?
It was 12 and 19, so 19 plus 9 is 28.
Jesus. Yeah, you know all about noble stock. It's renowned for its curative properties, usually healing maladies of all sorts.
It's a weed.
It's been a weed.
You know what to do, Josh.
Take your inspiration.
Take it.
I like this minigame. This minigame.
Is it a weed? No. Is noble stock or is it a mushroom?
No, it's a mushroom.
Yeah.
It
Mushrooms.
That's what I was about to say.
Oh,
known for
even
its
better.
mushrooms. Known for its curative properties, less for the physical ailments, but like mostly for the it cures what ails you of the mind, of the spirit, of things that are not usually diagnosable by like conventional medicine. Exceedingly rare, and very very hard to come by. Usually dangerous. Granted, the Underdark usually comes with its dangers, but overall, noble stock is not common in the Underdark. So having to forage and hunt it down usually comes with its own dangers. But
Okay. So yeah. So given all of that, I'll approach and kind of inject myself into the conversation. Just stating, I know of noble stock. It's from back home. It's rare and potentially dangerous to procure, but not impossible.
Oh, you're talking to me?
Yes, I am looking. I am
Samuel,
talking
real
to
quick.
you,
real
Samuel.
quick,
So-
Samuel, do you have experience with the Underdark, given being grown up
Dude,
in
I don't know.
Nathlon? Fair enough.
I
Fair
don't
enough.
know.
Oh,
Then
interesting.
Do me one of these. Roll a history check with disadvantage.
Yes, I was gonna say probably any lore check you have me roll from now on. You should probably make me roll with disadvantage.
Yeah.
Unless it's something I just recently encountered.
Yeah. No, like in an effort to recollect something. A la Dark Urge.
That's not bad actually. 14.
With a 14, you have an inkling suddenly of refugees. Innocent children, dark of skin, pale of hair, who you have. There's a flash of someone that looks vaguely like her. Sylvia's face transplanted onto a small young girl. Not to assume your gender, but it's like a small child or elfling. Out of sorts, out of place in the overworld. She's cowering and flinching in the sun, the bright sun. You get the impression, you get these vague recollections of just like you're surrounded by people, other refugees, other soldiers, and the like as the memory fades, you get this lingering guilt to go with it.
Yeah. As you draw some of his attention, he'll kind of squint and look you up and down and say, "Do I know you from somewhere?"
Do I?
You've never seen this guy in your life.
Okay. No, I would remember. I've had a long and troubled life, but I would have remembered a face and a constitution such as yours. What
Do you
happened
have a
to you?
picture, Matt?
Oh, I'm sorry. Of you or yeah?
Oh, same of it, yeah. Just so I can see.
As Sylvia says that, the recollection of that face you saw changes in your mind to somebody else's.
Oh, never mind. I must be mistaken.
The impression you get is it was a drow girl.
Got it.
A
You all
youth.
look the same anyway. No, just kidding.
Jesus.
Wait a minute.
Sylvia disapproves.
Elf talking to elf. Elf
So
on
if I
elf
remember
racism.
But yeah, but I'll look you over. Why would you need noble stock though? Something wrong in the head?
You say that, but you kind of instantly get your answer when you just like look at me. I am probably the oldest elf you've ever met. My memory, you probably assume my memory is just
So you're an elf.
falling
That's good to know
apart.
too.
Yeah. Yeah. He's yeah, you can determine that he's starting to get like dementia, Alzheimer's, so he's not fully here all the time.
Okay. And so kind of given that, I'll kind of almost kind of step back and almost retract my question, but still be thinking about it.
Yeah. Do you not have a picture, Matt?
Oh, I'm sorry. I pulled it up for myself. Here we go.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I was looking at the icon. I figured.
Cool.
God damn it.
So my tattoos, I'm very like weathered, but I'm very tall. You could probably assume that I have some type of giant's blood, but I'm an elf, an Eladrin.
Okay.
The tattoos are faded, but they resemble Lathander. I don't know what you would know about Lathander, but I guess you could say you probably heard a rumor that he is dead.
Go ahead and roll in a religion check for me, Sylvia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
13.
Pretty good. As far as like recent news, the word has been spreading that Lathander is dead. But there, especially in the circles you run with, all kind of just circulating around information, right? Rumors are abound that Lathander is dead, but also Lathander's church has recently assumed control over the city of Nathlond in the east. The main church of Lathander famously hails from here. I'm gonna actually pull you guys to the world map so I can actually put names to faces and all that. So I can. What happens if I do? What was it that drags you guys? What's the hotkey to like drag? Does anybody remember?
No,
No idea.
like an alt click or something. I don't know.
For some reason, my ping is not working. So, okay, there we go. Random. So in the east, that is Nathlon, the sort of monastic city. Once monastic city, now is a hub of cultures and varying ascetic sort of beliefs.
If
Was
you,
recently taken over by the zealots of Lathander. Hailing from Hinterwood here to the northeast of Quiltier. If you look, refer to your map up here in the forests of the Starwald and Hinterwood, this was the main hub of worship for this area for Lathander. But conflicting rumors also have reached your ears that Lathander is slain by the cult.
Okay.
So, or the cults.
In opposition of Lathander, it's not by Lathander's zealots itself, right?
Right. The cults.
Okay.
The cults are claiming responsibility for the death of Lathander,
Gotcha.
the death of the god.
Okay.
So here stands before you this weathered elf who looks battered, beaten. He's still rippling with muscles, but clearly from his tattoos, he's a worshiper of Lathander.
So I'll just point. I'll be very blunt about that. Just kind of looking over the markings. You represent Lathander. You practice in his name.
He kind of looks away. He says, "I once did."
What do you do now? Given, and I just don't complete that sentence.
He takes a moment to think it over and he says, "I do what I can. Ideally, I would seek out revenge, but to what end, I don't know. Keeping me occupied is what keeps my mind sane."
You say that, but you also seek your memories, it seems. What does this... Shit, what's his name?
He gets that's a oh, no one's even asked him about this stuff right now.
Nope.
All right, go ahead, Matt. I'm gonna keep talking though.
Yeah, I just referenced the person that was offering you the noble stock. I was trying to find their name.
Yeah, no one's asked about the memory before, so he's gonna look a little emotional, and he says, "I can't even recall if I have a family. I am alone in this world." I know I've done something I deeply regret, and that's what led me to Lathander to begin with. But I don't remember it, and just because I don't remember it doesn't mean it didn't happen.
You still have the conviction behind it, it seems. That's enough to make it real.
Yeah, Samiva looks like he once was a lot more bubbly and optimistic, but he looks, like I said, weathered and beaten.
Yeah.
You know?
He's taken a few hits. Gotcha.
Yeah, too many losses. Yeah, and he looks extremely muscular, but you think a lot of that probably comes from his gear, because he doesn't use any weapons. His fists seem very calloused and pretty large, almost the size of your head for each hand.
Yeah.
He's 6'5", so he's massive.
Damn, y'all are giants.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
That's what I'm saying. You figure he probably has some type of giant's blood inside of him.
Okay. So then, given that, and like noticing the emotion that's about to like streak through your face, I'll step back a little bit.
You didn't mention your name. Sorry.
Oh, my apologies. I heard bits of home, and I got a bit of a rush. I'm Sylvia Moonwhisper.
Well met. I am Somerville Chapton. I'm sure you'll be a pleasant addition to our little group.
Pleasant, I'll try, but reliable, I hope to be.
He just nods.
And I'll give you a nod as well, and leave you back to your conversation.
Cool.
If I remember the boat correctly, I think. Let's see who. I'm
Kaz
going
was there,
to.
I think, but
Yeah, Kaz was there, but he is currently not available. So I will actually move down to. I believe the only person I haven't talked to was Vulcan, right? Or is it
Mhm.
Vulcan?
Vulcan. You could say either.
Okay.
Yeah,
Vulcan.
he fucked off to whatever resembles a workshop on this ship.
Okay, so that's why he wasn't on the deck, because I was
Yeah,
like, where
yeah.
was he? So yeah, looking about after speaking with Samoville, I'll kind of try to find this person, Vulcan, wherever you are in the workshop. And yeah,
He's usually at the back.
You don't know anything.
I don't. Is the door
Untainted.
closed, or is the door open? What's the situation?
I don't think I own it. I think it
Okay.
presumably came with the ship. I was gonna ask Mish about that.
His door's
I don't know if it's
Okay.
a workshop. I don't know if it's just like a table in an engine room.
Okay.
Whatever it is. So Vulcan just
Okay.
kind of hangs out.
Okay, well, wherever you are, I won't be stealthy about it. I'll make myself known, and even like if there is a door, knock
Yeah.
at the door, kind of trying to get to your attention, and just say, just making the rounds,
Welcome.
and then kind of put my hand out, Sylvia Moonwhisper, at your service.
And Vulcan will take it.
Did you say your name, Vulcan? Sorry,
Yes. I'm Vulcan.
Vulcan.
You are a pilot?
Mm, one could say I could be, if I really tried. But no, I'm of it's a stocky variety.
Perhaps in the same way I am blacksmith.
Oh, and I'll kind of look over, and kind of remembering back to Wolf, right? I think, right? And some of the smithery that or the what you had made, I'll kind of reference back to that.
And as you look at it, you notice that the make of his crossbow is kind of imitative of Vulcan's work, but it's
Yeah.
not like quite there. It's like somebody kind of described it, and
Mhm.
somebody made what they thought, but it's not exact.
Got you. And so, I'll mention that with Vulcan while I'm there, stating the Warforged at the deck. He seemed to admire your work. You seem to be much more than a blacksmith, it seems.
Daniel, I'm gonna speak out of character for saying we don't know each other, right? We did know each other before.
We don't. So Wolf knows of you.
Yes.
He hasn't.
I would say like you're one of
engaged in like anything more than
haven't had a
passing
heart to heart.
conversation yet.
Yeah.
So you
Okay.
don't really know who he is.
Okay.
Okay.
Before I say I was I
Yeah.
believe he is one of the newer brood. A youngling.
Well, it seems so. You seem a little bit more experienced.
He is eagerer than perhaps one of my generation.
Capable, though. In your opinion, from what you've seen.
One more time. Sorry.
Capable.
Yes. He's still alive.
It's a low bar. What of you? What do you do? Besides be a blacksmith, it seems.
Not too much of that these days. I had the shop once. I made the money. I had my own business. That was before. And now I chase the dream once again.
What dream?
To settle with my own shop.
To make swords, make maybe bows? What do you make?
Whatever a growing town needs. Or an established one. Forget where I was before. I think I was in a large city. Even everybody needs horseshoes even.
Humble horseshoes.
So Wolken is, I don't know if it'll be a picture, and the picture wouldn't even be that accurate. It's like probably Wolken when he was like towards the beginning. But he's short for a Warforged, I'd say.
Okay.
He's 6'1".
Y'all,
Like,
y'all are all
relatively.
bigger than me.
Yeah. He looks like he's cobbled together his is it armor, his adornment. He looks like he's pieced himself out of like creatures. Seem very large creatures or very hardy doomwakers, even based on some of his weapons and some of his armor. But he's definitely scarred. His arm doesn't even look like it's his original arm. It doesn't quite match the rest of him. He's pretty grizzled for a beast of metal and wood and magic.
All right. Kind of looking through it and being familiar with Doom Wakers and kind of what we saw at the or at the base of Skyforge. I'll kind of reference it. Have you? I mean, besides the one at the city just now, have you fought them before?
I have.
Are they just as deadly as the one that you had just escaped?
It is no mere blessing to escape any of them. An impossible task to kill even one.
What if I were to say that would be a goal of mine?
A lofty goal. You will surely die, but perhaps you may succeed before you do.
Perhaps. It's good to know there's survivors amongst its wake. Valuable to know you, Vulcan.
Living is best. I wish it for you.
And you. I'll leave you back to your work. And I'll give you a knock at the edge of the threshold and walk off as well. And back onto the deck, where
I apologize. My dog's bladder waits for no man.
Fair, I understand. I have a puppy.
Papa.
Father.
Are they okay? Is the puppy okay? That is important.
Oh, they're fine. That
Okay.
1.5-year-old puppy is more than fine.
Okay.
He just doesn't want to hold it.
How's the carpet?
It's fine. 2 days ago was not.
Uh-oh.
But we fixed it. Anyway.
Well, at this point, I've talked to everyone, with the exception of Kaz or Kazadai. So I guess I'll leave that for you. If you'd like to partake in the
moment.
questioning,
By all means.
So yeah, coming out from down below where the workshop was, where Wilkin was working on his shop stuff. I'll approach you up the stairs, which I assume will be somewhere around here.
Yeah, that'd be fun, actually.
Yeah, and kind of look towards you, kind of looking you up and down. Presume there's armor in place, but yeah, what do I see?
Yes. Let me. For one, I will show you Vulcan, because I was not here to do it before.
Cool.
And I will now show you Kaz.
That is the same man.
Very similar.
It's the same picture.
I see no difference. Yes.
The same picture.
He got two.
You got a little bit of schmutz there on your hip.
You got
A bit of red on you.
Schmutz. I'll rub it off.
Schmuck.
You got a schmuck on you. It's Bud. Bud is the schmuck on
It's
me.
me. It's blurred.
It's me. It's so as you approach, opposite of Wolf looking behind at the burning sky peak, because Dae is looking ahead, looking for danger in the surrounding area, just alert. He hasn't doffed his helm. He's still holding his spear, just planted and resting at like what you would recognize as a guard's rest, like a common pose for someone that was like a militia or city guard. He, as you approach in your as your clack 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 of high heels across the deck approaches him, he kind of tilts his head sideways as he hears you coming, and in out of form, I'll say, he addresses you first before you get a chance to address anybody else. And he says, "I suppose, yeah, I've got you to thank for the ship's timely arrival."
My only wish is that it could have been sooner. But pleasure's mine.
He nods and takes his helmet off. He's a shorter person, only a couple inches taller than you.
Really?
5'6", 5'7".
Yay, short king.
I started making 6 foot plus characters. I figured it was time for the short kings to get their representation.
What up?
The time of the short has come.
He's not particularly like muscular or wide in any way. He's just an unassuming figure, but auburn hair, brown auburn hair, pulled back into a half ponytail. But as he lifts his helmet, he's exudes a certain amount of, like, for lack of a better word, a radiance. His skin is like slightly glowing. His eyes sharper in color than they should be. He appears humanoid, but has the affects of just being a little more of something else.
Does he stink of decay?
He does,
should.
actually. He should, yes.
I'll wince
With
at
your-
that.
With your 22 perception, he stinks of decay, and you see 3 faint lines, 2 diagonal and 1 across, like of these like faint red glow that like wraps in a swirling motion around his head. And as you like kind of like squint and focus, you just see eyes running along these rings around his head, and just like these faint glows. But they fade in and out of perception. But he just inclines his head and gives you a bow. I'm not in the habit of owing favors to someone I don't know. Name's Kazdaye. What's yours?
Sylvia Moonwhisper, and it is a pleasure. I am not one to owe favors either. She would know, and I kind of nod in the direction of Trixie. We have a bit of a history. I'm winning currently, but not for long, I assume.
Well, I certainly hope that she has more secrets like yourself in her back pocket, because you really got us out of a tight bind.
Yeah, I'm glad to do it. Hopefully there won't be more, but given the state of the world as it is, I can only assume the worst.
Well, if you travel with us, you're certain to get in more. So if you want to leave while the getting's good, you better do it now.
Oh, getting way good. From I was just speaking with Vulcan, you have frequented with Doom Wakers before?
His visage darkens. He scowls a little bit. We've got our fair experience with Doomwakers. I almost didn't survive to tell the tale.
Almost didn't.
Was a near thing. If not for a cultist that dragged me to the Sinborn realms, I wouldn't be here standing before you today.
And I'll kind of look in the direction of Bud and then back to you. You seem to be of a similar disposition to a feline friend over there. Is there something a little bit more to your almost didn't make it?
He leans forward, and while he's not taller, like that much taller than you, he exudes this like presence that you would almost call frightening. Roll a wisdom saving throw just for flavor.
Heck yeah. Roll 2. 19.
You almost want to take a step back, but you hold your ground before his just sheer force of will. He's just got like this presence to him that makes him seem bigger than he is. Not like in a compensation sort of way, but just like he is terrifying in his own right. But he notices, like you see a glint in his eye, and you notice that he notices, and he smirks.
I smirk. Oh, God.
I find you too keen, Sylvia Moon Whisper. You see more than you ought to. But you hang around us enough, you'll see more than you should.
I'm counting on it. You seem fun. And I'll, in standing my ground, I'll return the smirk.
Whatever amusement he has leaves, and he says, "Hi, you and Wolf will make a fine pair."
Oh, good. I already liked Wolf.
As I said, you'll make a fine pair. He will give you like a look once, like up and down and once more, and be just. I'm sure we'll have more time to talk later, but by Helm's grace, I say, I appreciate your rescue. And I hope the next Doomwaker we find that you're not too keen to meet its end. Or shall you meet yours sooner than you hope?
I'll kind of almost like dismissively smile, but also be kind of respectful since I've just met this person. Just, I'll keep your knowledge and experience in mind. Cass.
He shrugs. Do or don't. I'm hesitant to even see see another one myself. And he dons his helmet again and returns to his vigil out on the horizon.
So as you do that, given that I feel like I've spoken to everybody now, I'll take the opportunity to, if there's a, like, I guess given it's a skyship, there's like a roost somewhere at the top, like a viewing point.
A crow's nest.
A crow's nest.
They're sitting on an egg. No, just kidding.
It's pushing an egg out.
It's an avocado, mate.
Given my current ability to scale walls, it seems, because I'm a ranger, I'm going to go ahead and use my walking speed to walk all the way up and just fixate myself at the very top of the crow's nest and just kind of look out to to wherever the ship is pointing, what direction that might be, what might be lying ahead.
Awesome. You already have inspiration because you're a recap, right?
Yes.
I'm going to do something unprecedented, and rather than give you another inspiration to pass to someone else, take 2.
He got 2.
You have 2 inspirations. I thank
Went to
you.
your L5C.
As DM to player, I thank you for engaging every player.
I learned a lot. Thank you.
Backstories and everything. I appreciate it. So,
I'm going to put in temporary hit points because I don't have the rest of it.
Just remember it. I don't know. Dude, I mean, I just give it to you. You can do
Thank
whatever the hell you want.
Thank
with
you. Appreciate
it.
it.
We should do a thing where you redeem it for hit points. I think that's a good idea too. You know what?
Yeah.
If you want to redeem an inspiration for 20 temporary hit points, I'll allow that.
Sure. I will do it.
Very well.
Thank you.
Good
Does
use.
anybody else have anything they want to do?
Before Bud goes down below deck, he'll walk up to Samoville and do the same kind of thing he did with Sylvia, and I
I
see
give the healing.
That's right.
Big chest.
Healing, everybody, healing.
That's what I do.
Catchphrase. I will
I
pull
love
one of my greater healing potions that I have, and kind of like the meme with the whole can of the tacos. Just hand over and hand you a greater healing potion.
No words need to be spoken. I'll just take it and give you a nod.
But just nod and kind of do a pat on the back real quick, and then walk my way down.
Cool.
Very good. Anyone else? Very well. Actually need to think about costs. I will put myself in his shoes in a second. We will separately roleplay your interaction with River probably at the top of next session because he is the only one missing. Because Dae will take about an hour will go by of flying and the crew doing what they do. At some point, Kazdai will find Wolf and just gauntlet metal-clad fist to shoulder. Just give him a tap.
Yeah, what's up?
There's some quick thinking with you on the rooftops. It was a good move.
Oh,
I appreciate that.
I mean, thanks. I mean, just kind of what I was trained to do.
Well, trained or not, people don't always remember their training when push comes to shove.
Oh, well, then they didn't train hard enough.
He shrugs. That was all.
Oh, well.
And he wanders away.
You handled yourself out well. You know what? You probably already know.
He acknowledges it, but doesn't say anything and walks away. Good.
Hmm?
I would like to talk about the insignia you got.
Yes.
Nah.
Nah,
I'm
I'm
good,
good.
I'd rather we didn't.
He just throws it. I don't want
That's
that.
personal.
While mundane in make, it's fine craftsmanship. It's a fine likeness to what you know dragons to be. The metal it's made of seems to just where once it was just a mundane item when it was handed to you, it seems to draw you in. I'm going to ask you something, and it's free to interpretation. There's no right or wrong answer here.
Okay.
You being a what kind of dragonborn? What color?
Gold.
Gold. It's a leading question, and maybe let me know if this doesn't make sense.
Okay.
How does cold suffuse you as a person? To live as a being that has just a blizzard living inside them. What is that like for you?
Well, I mean, I do have cold resistance, so
Yeah, no, I'm. Is it
Just-
a thing that you feel in your skin at all times? Is it something that it's in your gut? Is it Not physical at all? Is it like, I'm
Hmm.
asking, and like I said, there's no right or wrong answer here. Like, does it manifest itself in any way to you?
I'd say he feels it in his bones, like as like the cold like ache kind of. Yeah.
Sure.
Mhm.
Now that makes sense.
Mhm.
That cold ache in your bones that you've lived with since your birth, as you hold this emblem, it almost seems like, so like in your fingers, your scaly fingers, um the only thing I can think of is like arthritis. Like a little bit of that pain leaves your hands and your joints feel a little more loose, a little more warm even.
Hmm.
Almost as though this emblem is drawing it from your body.
Hmm. Okay.
Um what is your intelligence as a character? What's your
10.
intelligence score? 10? That's fine. Can you roll an arcana check with advantage, please?
Sure.
Excellent.
Mhm.
There's a magic to this emblem. It's more than just an insignia. It's more than just the crest of the Dragon Knights. There's something primal to it, and you reckon that some sort of elemental influence could be pushed into this thing and would produce a result. Um, Given context clues from what Kronash had said, if you can figure out how to work this thing, it will call or send a signal to Prince Oswin.
Ooh. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. What else can I tell you about something? You reckon that, like, given the draw it's putting on your elemental draconic self, that a how can I say this without giving it away? There a burst of elemental energy would likely activate this thing.
Mm.
Hmm. Okay.
But up to you to do with it as you will. Is there anybody else that
Okay.
wants to do anything? Or would you yourself like to do something?
No, I'll just kind of feel it, notice what's
Yeah.
happening. My hands feel better. Get the sense of that, the elemental power, and just ponder upon it.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah.
Well, if there's nothing else, then we'll continue on to the next day. Um, Go ahead and give yourselves the benefits of a long rest. Um,
Ooh.
and then
Yeah.
I need one of you to. I need the party to elect someone to roll a d20 for the next day.
Ed does it.
I vote
Okay. Okay.
Ed. Best boy Ed.
Did it roll? Oh no, there it is.
Sometimes it takes time.
16.
Solid roll.
Yay,
good.
I don't know what that means.
No one does except for me.
Woo!
He's
16.
like, you guys died. You died.
We did.
All you died.
You have
You
chosen
chose
poorly.
Meteor. That was it.
Damn it,
EMP.
16.
Flumph EMP. Okay, with the 16, your day's travel as you exit the perimeter of Sky Peak, you
Excuse me.
guys have a clear day of travel all the way to Dun Hollow. I don't have actual speeds, but the like as night falls and day crests again, you can still see the smoke and ash of Sky Peak cresting on the horizon line. You get that like almost like spherical view as Sky Peak goes away, like just at the top of your horizon line. The Well, I guess the top perceptions would would be now Sylvia and Bud. Go ahead and roll me a
Woo.
perception check.
What?
Woo!
Perception check.
I did say perception.
Okay.
24.
Whoa.
I was
Jesus,
too busy looking at Sylvia.
holy shit.
That's a lot of ass.
That's a lot of ass.
Whatever happened to your kitty waifu in Bryland?
I sold her
Prison.
for.
She blew up.
Sold her.
She got blown up.
She got blown up.
Oh God.
Or did she?
Wait a heck, that means
Uh-oh.
I'm single again.
There's a
Yeah,
chance.
baby. Anyway,
Yeah, you dropped her like a bad conversation.
That's right.
God damn.
Oof.
Miracle!
Did I put you in jail, baby?
Oh my god. You got you, Sylvia, see you continue to see the faint flashes of greens of the multicolor variety that Sky Peak held in its air defenses. Something is still fighting, even 8 hours later. Something is still going off down there. But from this distance, you can't make out any sort of detail. But the colors alone tell you that something's still happening. But for how long they can hold out, you couldn't say. Now, we shall pull you forward to a map I didn't think we'd be using again. Let me make sure.
Interwood.
Is it?
Welcome back, bitches. That's the wrong one. Hang on.
not again.
Activate this one.
I saw something. I saw something.
That was the an unused map from Brandon.
Oh, well, now I don't see anything.
Loading.
Yeah, there it goes.
Loading.
Yeah, it took a minute.
I do not have vision.
Because you're not on the
There
map.
Alex
You were
is-
not here before.
Oh, my first time. Got it.
Nice.
Mhm.
It's also got
I cannot read anything either.
Clouded looks like such a shithead.
is a shit.
Oh, does that clown?
Yeah.
Oh.
He looks like such a like Adonis, like
Yeah.
shavy
Oh, I
like,
see it.
oh.
Hang on, I'm trying to fix the lighting. Give me a second.
That's great.
Which one of these is Elsa Vidara? Isla Vidara?
That one?
You're gonna have to remind me.
That's
Of,
that's Liara Cross.
Oh yeah.
Who's this?
I think it might be the ranger in the bottom. She's a ranger, so I assume.
I think that's her. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know who the one. up
Remember
north
that was the one that was injured and like needed help, and then
She,
that's
she
No, I
got turned
thought-
into a. Yeah, she got turned into a Veligro and then
Yeah.
got saved by us, but
Oh.
not really.
But she also like survived the collapse of
Gildan.
Gildan. Thank you.
Gildan.
Gildan. Can anybody not see?
Huh?
Is it only grayscale for some people?
Yes.
It's color for me.
Let me see if I
Yeah.
can fix
Good
that
for
real
me.
quick.
It looks like it is a flashback in the past. Oh, it's colored now. Yeah.
Welcome to Oz.
Wait,
Weird.
the lollipop guild. The lollipop guild. Anyway.
You find yourselves back to Dunhollow, and set yourselves down in an inconspicuous spot and return to the erstwhile hideout of the former guild. What's left, once mighty and heroic establishment, has now been reduced to this: a gathering of cripples and the dregs of the guild that want to do good left. I would ask you to remind me of the names, but that'd be disingenuous. But I don't remember all of them. There are 4 champions here, plus Cloud, River's brother. But the Tiefling, the Ranger, the Leonin, Druid. I don't remember her name. Tyler, remind me.
It's Liara Cross.
Liara Cross. The Ranger champion was
Isla Fadara.
And
I don't know
we've got
that.
a cleric.
Brandon, I think, made these ones. He probably put them in the.
There's Kira and Yuvari.
That probably sounds right.
Kira and Yuvari. Give yourself inspiration, James.
I take 20 tempo points.
One day goes by.
We take what's first.
I make the rules, and if you've gotten 2 inspirations in a second,
You muted yourself.
You
muted
cut
himself.
out. You said 2 inspirations in the session, and then you went.
apparently, if you hit the space bar, if you smash it with your pewter mug, it mutes yourself. No,
And
if
causes
you
the
get 2 inspirations, I'll say at that point you are worthy of some sort of temp HP allowance. But you return to these guild champions who are holding it down here. They are. It's grim down here, right? There are few people staffing this place. It's just these champions hanging on to whatever lost glory they had. But they're still driven by a need to do good, and their intentions are good, and so they maintain. And it seems like your return breathes new life into them as you approach. Lafar is ecstatic to see you, and despite her state, and she's, what news? You return so soon.
Who's gonna say it?
It's
The
not
silence.
good.
The initial silence, her excitement drops. And as Wolf speaks up, she's like, something steals over, like business takes over. She's like, all right, what is it?
Sky Peak is lost. The Doomwaker struck it.
Closes her eyes and nods her head. Aye, all right. So where are we?
We got a lead. We need to chase it down. First, we need to regroup, though.
What's the lead?
Well, they were doing some sort of experiments, and well, we got something that might help us unravel the mystery, but Kronash was sworn to silence magically, I guess, but something involving the king. Honestly, it's a bit over my head.
Would anyone like to add to his summary? River's not here, and I'm sworn to silence.
I'm trying to do my notes. Which city did we think the Doomwaker also felled before Sky Peak?
Vryland, the headquarters of the guilds,
Yeah.
that killed all
Relay
the
that.
guild leaders in a single strike.
Was the same Doomwaker that struck Island.
It seemed to be after Kronosh. It looked like it was trying to like eat magical sources or something.
For Ed, I will say the reason that this group was sent out was because the king, according to their sources, appeared to be breeding an army of monster hybrids. We'll say, and this group was sent to task to discover the means, the whys, the bifors, and stop its inception. Right. So the king is somehow involved, but they discovered Kronash was delivering the method of control for this army.
Did we all find out that it was like a bunch of Eon stones, or was that a private thing?
You did discover that it was a bunch of Ioun stones, but when you spoke to Kronash, Kronash was under the assumption the Ioun stones were to give the hybrids their own minds, their own control, not to control them.
There's also the mentioning of it not being hybrids with like awakened monsters, but with draconic blood.
Say that one more time. Sorry, I'm trying to parse that out.
They mention like when we got there, we were all expecting it to be awakened monster hybrids, but they're doing hybrid stuff with draconic blood line rather instead.
They're experimenting on the draconic blood
Yeah,
in the name
Which-
of the king for his sons.
which I think we determined from some type of I don't know lore checks or from dialogue that draconic blood is like awakened blood or something. Yeah.
Kronesh had told you from their research that, and Scud can confirm this, that Dragonborn and Draconics believe them to be the first hybrids of a kind. That dragons were the first creatures of the natural creatures of the world, and that the whole notion of a hybrid or of anything was the Dragonborn's right.
Yes.
But as you speak, what was her name? Sorry, the ranger, the Falara.
Isla
Filthara.
Badara.
Isla Fathara is looking at you a little confused. She's like, "But that doesn't add up at all. What else did you find?"
Well, is Umla here with us?
Umlau can be here with you.
Because he's the one that
You guys didn't really
mentioned
ask him much questions, so.
Umla was locked up because he knew a secret that the king was experimenting on Doomwaker blood or something.
Right, Umlau has discovered something that the king wanted silenced. So none of you asked, but he is here.
There he
Or
is.
can be. So. Mate, you're all looking at me weird. What? What
Tell
is
them what you know.
them? I don't know them.
Yes, you do.
I know one of you. But you're looking a little flatter than I remember you.
Who's Umla talking to?
In general, but
Oh.
when he's speaking about like somebody was flattened, he's referring to the ranger champion who has been crushed under some sort of large, like, collapsing structure, and she's now like infirmed because of it.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Last you guys had seen her, she was turning into a monster and is no longer, but was unable to escape the tower that you found her in. and it collapsed upon her. She somehow made it out. She's here now, but incapable of her previous feats. Sylvia, what is your primary guild? Was it Ranger or Rogue?
Rogue.
Never mind. Don't ignore me.
Or at least as of recently, yes, Rogue. But yes.
Everyone looks at Umla and he's like, "What?"
Hmm.
He doesn't look forthcoming on his information.
I'll pep up a little bit, given my feelings. I'll look towards Umlau. So about this secret, it made it very hard to track down where you were, to where I could share it with your lovely wife here. Perhaps given a little bit of encouragement, and I'll kind of like nudge Trixie like in the side. Could perhaps give us a bit of a direction as to why your little brain there is so valuable.
Or persuasion check, and I'll say advantage because you included Trixie.
Okay. Persuasion, you said?
Yes, please.
I am so good at that.
You're so good at it.
13.
Mate, if you wanted me to talk, sicken my wife on me is not the way to do it.
It's worked before. Got your life out of there.
We did not rescue you for you to be quiet now.
Roll an intimidation check, because Dai will assist you.
Who's doing it?
Samuel.
Okay. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Wow, awesome. With a
Your
14,
voice cracked.
he's like, he looks hesitant. He's like, mate, listen. I just wanted to get back at the kitty guy, and all of you for leaving me behind. I didn't want any of this to happen. Honest. He looks on the brink of cracking, but he's not quite there yet. Does anybody want to sell me on something else? Preferably somebody who
Bud.
is not rolled already.
Oh, true. Okay.
Could
I say preferably
Foz,
like you have an option. I'm in command.
could Foz be there?
Foz could be there. I'd allow that. Sure.
Okay.
Foz and Zoom can be here because they're practically party members. But
Foz. Oh, yeah. Well. Oh, sorry.
no, I'm including Zoom because he's just at the bottom of the list. But
Okay. But
you're there as well.
yeah, I thought this was on the ship for
And daughter.
them. Silly.
No, this is in the
I did not have you abandon us and take care of your child for you to not help now, you blithering idiot. Tell them what you know, or I will end you.
intimidation check with advantage.
Oh boy, wait, just a second. Let me bring up Foz's.
You're
Sure.
also awful at charisma, aren't you?
Oh yeah. So Ed, you said you were bragging about having a 9.
Oh yeah.
Wait,
Well,
wait
I
for it.
had a
wait for it.
13 or 9. Yes.
13?
Well, I rolled a
Charisma?
13, but
I have a
I have a 9 charisma.
I have a
Oh,
He's got a -2.
damn! Rangers just living in the sub-average charisma.
No,
I
this
will-
is my old character.
Oh, this is your other character? Okay,
Yeah.
never mind.
and I will
Intimidation.
also-
You said with advantage.
Yes, intimidation with advantage. But I'd also remind you to roll your fate die for the day.
Oh, yep. All. Okay. Technically, it has to be before I rolled, so that's an 8.
So you would have rolled this at the beginning of the day. So,
Oh, okay. So then I'll say the 10 and the 8 were my 2 portents. So I'll just re-roll
I mean,
the
whatever you want.
persuasion
It's fine.
because I roll 2. So just to speed things along. I can never find. It's alphabetized. Why can I never? Intimidation. There it is. Boop.
Oh,
Oh my goodness.
Okay.
For an 18 on a natural 20.
Natural 20.
-2. No portent die
Essentially,
required.
He's
love
pulling
to see
the I took care of your child because you couldn't card. So be a
You,
friggin' take responsibility for once card.
as you, an old man, tower over Umlau by presence alone. You see something in him that's suddenly broken. There's this like vulnerability that you've never really seen before, that he's fearful but not of you. Umlau's like, mate, you don't know what it was like. They took me, mate. They'd take me again. King's not who he is, mate. I served the king. I was a soldier, mate. That's not the king I served. He was a good man. Well, he's not a good man anymore. Something different about him. And his sons were good people too. Oswin's still a good son. But his other one, mate, I'm telling you, they did something to him. I don't know who the king is anymore. I started digging too deep. You know what I mean? I was just looking for information. And he just goes quiet. Goes real quiet. His eyes are down on the floor and he won't look you in the eye at all.
Talk, or I will pry it from your mind. Casting detect thoughts if necessary.
Um, he. Hang on.
Was that a?
Are you
Saving
going to
throw?
cast detect thoughts or no?
If he is, he's gonna make Umlau roll an 8 on the saving throw die.
Okay, never mind. So the 14 was just to see if he would fight back against you. If you're gonna
okay.
make him roll an 8 on his wisdom save, then you can just like
Oh, fair enough. Yeah, just
you. What is your passive insight?
pauses. In 13.
So that
It's okay. Given your prior intimidation, it's not hard to tell that like this little or this bit of defiance he has, or this like, or I'm sorry, let me start over. This little bit of vulnerability he has, he's now standing defiant to you. Like he doesn't want to tell you. If you breach his mind for that information, he's not going to be happy with it. Is what I'll say.
It is your choice. I would recommend cooperating.
Persuasion or Arcana, your choice. Or I'm sorry, persuasion or intimidation, your choice.
Okay. Yeah, we're doing the intimidation. Whoop.
Ooh.
Mate,
Come on.
I owe you one for looking after my family. But you don't get to push me around.
Detect thoughts.
There it is.
And you're making him roll an 8, so you automatically succeed. I'm
Yep.
assuming the save is for you to dig deeper, right?
Yeah, that's what he would do. It would be technically. Let me do spells. Yeah, save DC is an 18, so
Okay. So
unless
I'll
he's
say
suddenly a paladin.
you have this strain. You have the like as ever burrowing into people's brains. You have this like vague surface, like a lake of water of their surface thoughts. There's hints of defiance, of shame, of um, regret, of um, um, what's the word? Trying to think of the word.
Penis.
A little bit of it's a little bit of penis, or a lot of a penis. He's got
A lot of
he's thinking about his sword named his Willie. He's thinking about Bud and vengeance.
Oh,
He's thinking like those are all his surface thoughts, like why
Mhm.
he's done this, why he's doing this, and then you just like splash through that still pool, break that surface tension, and you're just like deep in it. As you ask a leading question, direct his thoughts. What do you want to know?
I didn't think that far ahead. Oh.
We spent the past 15 minutes on this shit. You wanna think past
What?
this?
Let's see. Uh, w- how did you notice the king had changed? And then
and
the
when
next
you
one would
and
be
when you
like,
push, you went with that thought. Um, you see a throne room, a to you an unfamiliar place. Um, you see a darkened throne room, all the torches unlit. The regular guard you would expect to see replaced with Hinterwood zealots, armored paladins of Lathander, all bearing their crests of the dark sun, the blue sun. And on its throne, you see a flickering image, one of the king as you would know him, or that Umla would know him, and another of a sharp-featured man, a grinning figure with a hooked nose, a slanting, like his whole feature looks like the slant in this direction. I'm doing this on camera, but like the back of it, all his hair sweeps back this way, his chin points forward, his nose is hooked. He is not the king, whoever he is, but he's got this maniacal grin to him as he witnesses uh, a captured Umlau. And this figure promises torture and agony. And that's all you see.
all right. The king has been replaced by, to an illusion of the face I saw. This individual.
Did you can you post the description of Detect Thoughts for me?
Boop, 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 boop,
Because I know
boop.
you had a follow-up question, and I just want to make sure like
Oh yeah, it would have been like, you kind of answered it, but it was like, how did you find out, and what do you know of what he's been replaced by or turned into?
got it.
Where is detect thoughts? Detect poison of the seas, detect magic, detect evil and good. So much detection. Detect thoughts, there it is. Sorry. Cast on VTD, it's gonna be long.
Not a problem.
It was supposed to be long. That's gonna take it out of context.
It's,
Does that work? There it is.
yeah, I always forget how convoluted the spell is, though.
Presence thing creatures. If it fails, you can use reasoning. If it's...
So yeah, it lasts for a whole minute.
Okay.
I'm looking for if it can repeat the save. Creature can use its action on its turn to make an intelligence check to try and end the spell.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
But essentially, the questions would be: how did you find out? What has he been replaced by, or how did he change? And
so
then,
you got, we'll say that first deep probe got you
Mhm.
that, and then, sorry, I have to pull up his sheet here. View campaign. Umlau. Boy's middling smart. What's your race? Your DC? Jesus Christ.
18.
Never mind. Don't worry about it. if you wanna continue to probe further, you can. You just have to the asking the leading question just sort of directs his thoughts.
Okay. Yeah,
But
so
his
it would
thoughts
be,
are fixated on this figure and he's terrified.
what does he know about said figure? Like, more than just like what he looks like. Why is he so scared of him?
When you ask why is he so scared of him, he the you see a flash of a different figure. He appears more related to the king, for instance. His image does not flicker, but he looks scared. He looks unsure, and he cranes his neck, and like you see his body like almost roils with the or boils with the idea of like another thing wants to come out of him, and you see for a brief moment his neck elongate, and out of it just protrudes like this whole like fire breath mixed with ice, and just burns Umlau. And just burns.
Is this
Umlau.
a human figure?
It's a human figure, yeah.
Okay. But not for long. Sorry.
Given Umlau's knowledge of the crown and his background, you would assume this figure to be the other son.
Okay. Not the was Oswin, but
Not Oswin, the other one.
the other guy. The other guy. He who
Hmm?
shall not be named.
You get another name from Umlau's mind. It's Hector.
Hector. Of course, the silent P. Anyway.
Hector. Yeah, that's right. But you get many images flashing through his mind of Hector using his elemental abilities to torture Umlau.
Hmm.
Does anybody want to grant Umlau inspiration? You want to ask a leading question? He's just the rest of you notice as Fosradine ruthlessly just ravages Umlau's mind for information. He's just a quivering mess. It's hard to watch.
How?
It's been about
Yep.
12 seconds also.
Let's see. Like how I kind of ask how did he find out, but like, was there like a particular event, I guess, that he came across, or like what sneaking around did he do to find out? I guess.
Be right back.
He's like, mate, enough. I'll just tell you.
You should have just done that from the beginning. Saved us all the effort.
Do you withdraw from his mind? Or do you
Yes.
hold the magic in place?
Yeah, Foz will withdraw.
As you do, you
Cooperate will not be
pull that
necessary.
like spike from his mind and he just collapses to the floor.
Oh, no, you did.
Stupid. Smashing the spacebar. No, but like as you withdraw from his mind, he just collapses to the ground and he's just laying there panting with the exertion of your forced entry. He's like, I found out the king was doing something to him, mate. He was eliciting, oh, what's the word? He was I tapped into the drug trade, mate. He's using something to weaken his son's mind. Make him more susceptible.
To this hybrid transformation.
I don't know. But that's how they found me. I used one of the dealers like a contact, mate. Next thing I know, I'm being dragged out in chains. And I was passed off to some guys to, and they were just gonna torture me further and get more information out of me.
Was it just torture? Did they do any experiments on you?
I mean, they play with my butt, mate, but I don't know if that had to do with experiments.
Charming.
Sylvia
That's on
takes a
brand,
look.
right? I feel like that's on brand for Brandon. Try my hardest to roleplay him.
I doubt it will be much consolation, but I regret what has happened to you.
No, it's not. I didn't want you digging around in there.
But we needed to know what you know in order to make things right.
I will say at this point that Umla storms out.
Hmm.
You glance at Trixie. She's understanding, but she's not happy.
Kind of taking a glance around the room too, just with the exception of the things that just happened. Are there others in the room potentially other than like that's close by that like maybe I might have noticed in the shadows or that might have had some sort of curious reaction to the news that has just been given? I just want to do like a glance about.
So,
Um,
I was just gonna say, Wolf is kind of like, this is the first time he's seeing something like this. He's like, are we gonna help him? And like, probably somebody else is like holding him back. Like, nope, just let it happen.
I was gonna
man.
say roll an insight check for me. I'll say.
For Wolf.
For me?
For Sylvia.
Oh, okay.
18.
Yeah. Wolf looks decidedly uncomfortable. Like as far as everyone, how about this? With an 18, I think everybody can say how they're feeling at this point. So, like, Bud, we'll start with you. What are you looking like?
Definitely, I'm starting to pity him, but at the same time, this needs to be done. So I'm just keeping a close eye, but I'm not intervening.
Um, I would also say, from what it looks like from the outside looking in, it's literally like Foz towering over like a kneeling Umlau, just like driving himself into his mind, like magically. It's there is something forcible about it, and when he's like he's commanding Umlau to acquiesce his secrets. It's not comfortable. It's not nice. From the outside
Definitely be
looking in.
uncomfortable watching it, but I'll be right there, not intervening.
Yeah.
Just making sure things are taken care of.
For Kazdaye's sake, like he will, I will say he will get in front of Wolf, and he will be the one holding Wolf back and being like, "No, this is necessary." And has no qualms whatsoever about what is happening here. Literally no issue.
You have no
Say-
power here.
Well, if
Oh
if
my
I
god.
die, he dies.
Draw you, Saruman, like poisonous drawn from a wound.
Scud, what do you think? What does Scud think about this whole scenario?
Scud just sees like the information, or that Voz trying to get the information from Umlau, and he's just he was like going to intervene, like to like get information himself, but he's just like, because Scud sees like he was there with like in the lab with the dragon blood, so
yeah.
Scud is like wants to know more also, so he approves of what's happening and will assist if needed with Umlau.
Which oath are you? Out of curiosity.
Like my alignment.
Oath of
No,
interrogation.
your paladin oath.
That'd be awesome.
Is it redemption? Or is it
Vengeance, conquest.
no, conquest is me.
Yeah.
How do I find that?
It would be like
Don't
your
remember.
kind of like subclass.
Yeah.
It'd be one of your features.
Yeah.
But we can come back to you. No, just go look for it. We'll come back. I want to know.
Okay.
Wilkin, what do you think? What are you doing?
Um,
Also, the
I
the action is available for people to intercede. If it wasn't clear, sorry.
Oh yeah. No, I hang back. I'm
I throw
watching
rocks
everybody
at
else.
him.
yeah, kick him while he's down. Logan's pretty impassive at this point. I think even when we were rescuing Umlau, he wasn't like that into
Broken
it.
up about it.
Anyway, it wasn't that feeling for him. It's like, yeah, you probably did it. You probably deserved whatever you're doing to him. So this is more of the same.
Fair enough.
Sandville? Shaming.
So my question is, did Fosardine share the information that?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if that's happened narratively, but he was about to.
We're talking about the span of 12 seconds so far. So, like, you, Foz, are just driving a spike into his mind, gathering as much information as you can. If you, in your habit, I know, for your divination stuff, like, you would have that crystal ball and, like, share that information. I'd allow for that to happen here as well if you want to orate.
He wouldn't, like, have his crystal ball out, like...
No. I just mean, like,
yeah.
you're in the habit of reciting what you're seeing. If you want
Oh, yeah,
that to
I
be the
mean,
case,
like,
then...
if he could say it, like, as he's finding the information, kind of like, I see blah, 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 and, that sort of thing.
Sure,
Like,
yeah.
I guess he would do that. If not,
I'll allow that.
kind of immediately afterward, he would relay.
No, totally.
Because freaking Hector, man.
So we do know the information. Cool.
Yeah.
That being said, I mean, Samuel probably doesn't give a shit about Umlau because he didn't really know Umlau. And
Fair enough.
however, seeing or hearing what happened about Uma being tortured and the king not being the king, Samuel will just say like,
Sounds like we have to go kill the king.
honestly, in his mind, he's probably thinking more of like just looking for the next target to unleash his anger on. Not really caring about Umlao's present emotional state.
For sure.
That's a bold statement.
With all of that, when Umlo like reaches the door, he hesitates. He's like, "Mate, this is why I left." He walks out.
What about the daughter?
What about the
Daughter's not here.
freaking kid?
Your child.
The grown-ups are speaking. The kid's not here. So, with those revelations, the room sits in a ringing silence. Even the guild champions look lost for words for a moment. At your proclamation, Samaville, the need to kill the king? Now that's a daunting task.
Everyone's quiet, so Samuel will speak up again and say,
Many of us are royal gods. That's our entry point.
DM, how much would Sylvia have known, given she was kind of tracking Umlau?
In relation to what? Like what?
In relation to what
exactly you're thinking about?
In relation to what Umlau actually knows, so like what has been revealed and everything.
Go ahead and roll a history check with advantage. I'll say.
Okay, I'll just roll it twice because it's really weird. Oh, that's that. Don't ignore the third one. 18.
18's great. So having to track Umlau has taken you through Hiltir mostly, the capital city. For you, because of your role as a spy or like an information gatherer, it's his information is starting to fill gaps and answer questions that you had. We'll say. Things have been changing in Hiltir, subtle things, but they've been. The king has not been himself, and although he's done a good job of pretending like things are normal, he's a little more prone to cruelty, a little more prone to rash decisions. It's unlike him. And more so than anything else, he's been slow to respond to the rumors that you've been hearing. And just kind of the general threats of the kingdom of Odasses. And if Umlau's revelations that the king has been supplanted with an imposter, that is starting to make some additions, make sense. You're starting to put one and one together, two and two together, and you're like, okay, that could explain the odd behavior of the king. Did I answer your question? Or
Yes, and the fact that it's like kind of filling in the gaps makes
Mhm.
make a lot more sense. So thank you.
No
So
problem.
given that kind of paraphrasing a little bit of what you had just said, I'll speak on behalf of what had been said with Samaville, kind of pointing out the next target, so to speak.
Do it.
And target tends to be it's a word that resonates well with Sylvia as far as the way that she works, the way that she acts, and given the direction, albeit had so many different like wandering threads in her path to finding Umlau, for the very reason of finding this information. I'll step up in the direction of Samaville, who's taken this bold step to accuse the king and potentially kill him, and kind of look into his elven eyes, wizened and potentially beaten by all his years of strife, and find a little bit of truth in it. And kind of looking towards everybody else and what their experiences might have been with the king, um, I'll I'll kind of step forth with Samaville like right in front of him and just say, "Your words are true. His are as well, as troubled as his experiences may have been. There's no there's no way like finding the truth, but taking it from the horse's mouth. Shall we go see the king and find out for ourselves?"
What Kronash wanted.
Because I will step forward at this point. You set us on this path to investigate what the king had wanted. I asked you then, did you want us to kill the king? Now I think I know. It goes much deeper, much further than what he had previously surmised.
He's talking to the leaders, right?
And a little bit to everybody else.
Mm.
Because he definitely espoused doubts at the beginning of this. Of why we were doing this. Because I will also say, he's like, so then, for an agreement, and he starts looking around. And it's hard, like, he tilts his head left and right, and you can't see his eyes. He's still wearing his helmet, but he looks for confirmation from the others. We go after the king.
For the king.
Seems that way.
Aye.
What of Sky Peak? Do we leave it to them now? Do we go after the king, despite what's happened there?
We heard from who was it that talked to Scud, right? Did Scud share
Yeah.
the message? Okay.
Well, yeah, he like
Okay.
appeared in front of us, Kronash.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh,
everyone
okay.
heard that.
Oh, yeah. Everybody heard that. My bad. Okay. Okay.
So
Given that statement, Sylvia will pick up. Sky Peak has fallen. Kronash will do what he can. We have a directive. We have Kronash's wish was to approach the king. I think we should follow his wishes. Perhaps his defense of his city will not be will have some purpose to all this chaos.
A cancer spreads among these new followers of Lathander, so to speak. If they've gotten to the king, it's too late. This cancer needs to be cut out and eliminated.
The guild champions look uncertain. As sure as they were when they sent you out on this mission, they look to each other, and you see the same lost expressions on their faces as some of yours. And they say, "You'll have to do what you think is best. We don't have a standing army or a great number of allies to back you. It'll be your choice."
Where's Oswin?
He's on the southern front. He is, and Kronesh told you this as well, as I drag you to the world map.
After this,
After what now?
After what?
after you're finished describing this,
Oh, okay.
Is what?
chime in.
What?
What?
Oh, I think you just had something to say.
Oh,
Right.
I-
That what you said?
Finish your statement, and then I have something to say. That's what I'm trying
Okay.
to say.
Okay, got it.
Poorly.
There, Prince Oswin is stationed in a fortress south of Ansagon, down here. Way to the south,
Damn.
the southern coastal borders, past Ansagon, there is a station of forces of Odasses that guard sort of like the mouth of the Sea of Javier. Just they're stationed down there as like an initial defense force, and they're constantly in strife and conflict. So he is their commander, their, leader, and to call him back from the front, as it were, is an emergency, we'll say. But he took his Dragonites south to defend Odassin borders.
So, let, this is a lot. So if the king is responsible for all the deaths of Sky Peak, I agree he needs to be dealt with. But the kingdom also watches over all the people in Wiltier as well. If the king just straight up dies, everything's gonna be thrown into chaos, and all those people are gonna suffer. We gotta do something, find some way to keep some semblance of peace.
This is why I wanted Oswin nearby to be a strong leader when the king falls. How loyal he is to his father, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, if we could get him and have him take control of the situation afterward, I mean, if we can somehow prove to him that that's not his father, maybe, then he'll come along with us. But I can't in good conscience just assassinate the king and leave the kingdom to suffer. We all said we were doing this for the people, right? I don't think this would be in the best interest of them.
I know Bill enough to know that River would agree with you. River would endorse that statement for sure.
Foz kind of just scoffs.
Undermine
the
my own
Raven.
argument with my own character.
I imagine Kaz and Foz do like the Troy and Abed. No, just kidding. Anyway,
No, Foz would scoff, and Kaz would look to Foz for a brief second and be like, "If what would Kaz say in this? In the to his oath, by my oath, the people shall be protected by overthrowing a weaker king and putting something better forward." And he looks to Samuel. If we should take out the cancer, we have to stamp it out first.
You mean to
There's
go to
no
Nathaland?
question. There's no question in your minds that in Kazdai's mind it means violence for a better future.
where's the violence?
Do you mean to go to Nathaland?
quilt here.
Better have a replacement king nearby then. Send word to Oswin if we are to elect him.
The
And
guild
then-
champions now, like in this, jumping into this conversation that has sort of been started before, but they're like, it's going to take time. We don't have time, and like that bureaucratic sense comes forward. Like to get word to Oswin would take weeks. For him to travel his forces would take even more.
I'll step up and just mention my sources have been telling me that there's a force rallying from the Hinterwood, preparing a march toward Wiltier. There may be a force yet ready for such an action as ours. I think
Another silence.
the
And go ahead.
the champions are right. Whatever time that we have to confront the king, or whatever business we have there, we're running out. We go now. Perhaps answer questions later.
Scott, you feel the emblem burn in your hands.
Mhm.
All it needs is just a little push. And you feel like Oswin would know.
Okay.
Whoosh.
Okay. You can try.
That's what I was thinking too.
Then what do you do?
I hold out the emblem.
Mm-hmm.
Say, perhaps we should seek out Oswin.
The champions look simultaneously surprised, but also suddenly hopeful. They say, "Can you call him here?"
Hey, bitch.
I believe I can. With some semblance of energy, I believe I can call him.
Well,
Roll an insight check.
Yeah.
New emblem, who dis?
ooh,
23.
You're not sure what inspires you exactly, but as you speak these words and you're holding the emblem, you see your own breath frost over the front of the emblem, and it just seems to absorb it. And as it does, it heats up in your hand to like melt whatever you're giving it. And you think a little more frost might just do it.
Blow on it.
love
on
it.
I'm just kidding.
Spit on it.
All right. Yeah, that was just my breath, so I guess I'll force a breath onto it with
Sure.
intent. Harnessing
Force
the
it.
cold in my bones
Force it, Daddy.
onto the
Nope.
the emblem.
No problem, projectile vomit can't solve.
And for the day, you take whatever cold blizzard energy from your draconic ancestors and a spew of cold energy just washes over the emblem, and it glows a gold. Despite the blue frost or white frost, the emblem glows gold. Its lines in every facet highlighted, and it stays that way. It stays glowing. It stays like burning, in your hand. And whatever signal can be driven through this thing has been given. And you're confident that that's enough to get Prince Oswin's attention.
Mhm, mhm.
Now, what is the plan of action? You guys have enough information to make a choice. What is it going to be? What are we doing?
A surgical strike to root out the cancer is my thought.
First, we wait for the army marching from Hinterwood to attack. That's a perfect distraction for us to make a small assault.
Well,
of our
wait,
own.
wait. Well, is it going to attack? It sounded like, from what they were saying, there were Lathander people in the castle.
And Hinterwood is now cultists.
Oh, right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
Never mind. Ignore me.
No, that's correct. That's actually a great distinction. Where once was Lathander, now is cultist. So
Right.
easy to assume.
It
And
is
you're
still a
sure that
distraction,
other
though.
people are making the same mistake. If anyone's flying the flag of Hinterwood and given whatever information might be out there, they may welcome them, thinking incorrectly that Lathander flies their banner. But
So we wait for the cultists from Hinterwood to attack. Then we make our assault, relying first on stealth and cunning, trying not to be seen. Perhaps we get back into our roles as royal guards.
Seems like my cup of tea.
either way, it sounds like we need a plan.
I don't have any memory of Quilter, so
I know the woods around Quilter really well. That's where I was stationed when I was in the service.
And I know the city streets like the back of my hand. I'd be happy to help with that.
I could probably get us to the walls unseen, and
Wait,
maybe
and
go over.
more than half of us have spent time in the Royal Guard in the past year. We have a semblance of something. But I'd also like to remind everyone that we've got an invitation to the king themselves. They asked for us specifically.
Oh,
There could be that as well.
a direct audience. That would be convenient.
But also dangerous, I'm assuming.
True.
If we announced our coming.
Well,
They did not invite Sylvia.
I
If we are
never
the
got
distraction,
an invite either.
Sylvia could poison him.
I could get in there. If there are but a shadow to which I could hop and skip, I can get in undetected. So yes, we could use that to our advantage. I'm not known to this invitation, but I would be happy to help.
Neither is Scud. And neither
when did
is
we get
River.
this? When did we get this invitation?
Brandon mentioned it.
Oh well, then
When
wouldn't Scud
you guys
be
were a part
included?
when you guys were a part of the Royal Guard, he was looking for the original crew.
Oh, I wouldn't be the original crew, right?
No. I guess yeah, that's right. Samaville was not a part of it either.
It would just be Wolken and Kazdai and Bud
And Umlau.
and Umlau.
And
Umlau.
Dreek.
R.I.P.
Do they know what Drake looks like?
Does he look like a bitch?
What?
What?
So just currently 3 people, right? Kazdaya, Umlau, and Wolken that we have present currently.
that could accept an invitation to the king directly. Yes.
Umlau could not. He already accepted that
Technically,
invitation.
also, technically, also Foz and Zoom.
Oh, okay. I thought it was just
Mhm.
royal guard people, not
No.
necessarily just. Okay.
Okay.
And so, I will leave you with this. I would like you all to plan your method of either infiltration, walk up to the door, plan of attack. But it seems like everyone wants to pay a visit to the king. And so we
Would
end
we
tonight's session with that.
Okay.
would
What's
we
that,
want to
Daniel?
travel to the city first, get the lay of the land, and then come up with the plan?
Or do you want the cultists to stage their siege or attack first? And under the guise of that chaos, confront the king? Or do you want to try and get there ahead of time? There's plenty to decide. We should take it offline. You guys need to get together and plan and talk and see what you guys are interested in. So, but we need to come up with something.
Cool.
Nice.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right.
Cool.
All right.
Well, thank you,
Okay.
Ed, again for
Yay.
bringing all the
Mhm.
role play back to basics. I love
Woo.
hearing everybody's like descriptions and kind of like
Yeah.
who they are and everything. Except for girls,
Recap of all
they'll
that.
have to go back to the
Yeah.
YouTube for that. But it's-
Oh yeah.
no, that was fun. I had a good time. I hope you guys did too. And we will
Thank you.
see you in a couple weeks, and we'll do it again soon.
Woo.
played.
Sounds good.
Thanks
Yes,
for
yes.
DMing that.
Thanks,
Yes,
Matt.
thank you, thank you,
Always.
thank you all for
Fun.
having me.
Of
Um,
course.
Yes, sir.
Excited to be here for the next session.
Alrighty.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, boys.
Happy night.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good night.
Night.
We shall talk.